yesterday, but we'll talk about Call of Duty Mobile as well. Ton, you're back. Talk to me about your thoughts right now, because we have seen some crazy stuff happen between both regions now, and now this is going to be the culmination of it all for EU.
Yeah, we got a bit of a surprise a couple of weeks ago with Wanda especially finding themselves in this kind of position. So that is a really a cat amongst the pigeons. It's a very British saying if we're going to go on the English theme as we continue on. But yeah, it's one of those that is. I left a couple of question marks around this top four, but we will ultimately find out who the best teams are.
Well, like we keep saying, it's going to be an exciting day here today. But if you're unable to make tomorrow to kind of see how a lot of it concludes, or you miss what happened before we even got to this point, just follow us on social media, whether that's X, Insta, or Facebook. You can get all of your updates related to this season, the rest of the regions, anything SPS related will be on there, and then you won't miss a single second of any of the action. Or you can join our Discord at discord.gg/Snapdragon Pro Series, where you can join our community, talk all things Call of Duty Mobile, and of course, continue to get all of our updates, because the competition is really only getting started here as we continue through the multiple stages of what all of our teams are fighting for. And now that we're at technically the next stage, no longer the regular season, now here in Challenge Finals, it's time to talk about a new prize pool, okay? Because this is more money on the line for our squads. 7K to first place, Brody.
Yeah, 7K to first place, of course. That is a large chunk of money to walk away from. Of course, even just getting here, though, nets you a little bit of cash. You get 1K, even if you drop out at 4th place this week, 2K for 3rd, and 4K for 2nd. Of course, though, these guys, they've got their eyes on qualification for champs. That is the big thing at the end of the line. Nice bit of cash, though, I guess, to have as well.
Yeah, I mean, not too shabby after they've started kind of collecting a little bit, starting in the open finals, now making it to the challenge finals. Well, these are the teams that have made it this far. We got to watch lots of exciting matches during our main challenge season, and now this is how the bracket is going to be playing out here today. Up at the top, we've got 117 versus Animus Ton, and I don't think any of these matches are going to be easy for these teams.
No, absolutely not. But that 117 against Animus game, I'm really looking forward to that one. I think that should be an absolute banger. Exclusive against Wanted should be a really interesting one in there as well. You know, it's nothing guaranteed in any of these matchups, so that's what we like to see. I think sometimes when we're going through the group play, for the most part, we kind of had our expectations, but here they are completely reset. I think it's really hard to predict how today's going to go.
And you guys will notice here too, for everybody at home, obviously these teams are in the upper bracket. When we're here in finals, they'll have a second opportunity. If they lose, they'll get knocked down into that lower bracket and can still continue fighting their way through to try and secure their spot, whether that's in the next stage of the competition, or if they can maybe come back from the lower bracket, make a lower bracket run, and win the region as well. But now we'll take a look at the schedule and see what order we're going to be watching these matches in. We're just going to do it the way that you saw it at the top. 117 versus Animus to kick off the day, starting with a little bit of a banger, then going into that exclusive versus Wanted match. And then we'll do the upper bracket final, which will obviously be determined by which of the two teams win their matches here today. They will face off against each other to then make their way through. And Brody, I think this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think honestly both of these matches are really good. I think, you know, speaking to what Tom was just literally saying about the teams here with this tournament where we're at right now, I think comparatively to last season, right, where we had our two top teams, and then Omniscient had kind of fallen off by the end of the regular season, and you kind of had Mont that never really felt competitive with the top four. The fact that we've had these two massive upsets, I think, makes things a lot more competitive. Coming into the season with exclusive of the number one team, surely, and now it's like we really don't know. So I think kicking things off with 117 not found on Animus, I think is going to be an insane matchup with a lot of old teammates heading off against one another. I have absolutely no idea who's going to come out on top.
I hope everyone at home is ready for it as well. Before we dive into that first match, though, we're going to pull up a survey on the screen, scan that QR code with your phone, and let us know your thoughts about SPS, okay? What you like, areas you think we can improve, things you want us to add in that you'd like to see. And if you do that, you'll be entered in to win a $100 gift card. It takes like 5 minutes, and it's super easy. We really appreciate to hear from you and what you've been thinking so far about the program. But like I said, we saw it a couple times. We've got this first match right around the corner, 117 versus Animus. Ton, you said you're excited for it. We'll take a look at the rosters, and maybe for everyone at home, just kind of remind people what happens on the way here.
Oh man, I mean, it was a little bit of a surprise for both two teams, I want to say, in the way that they did get here. But what is not too much of a surprise is to see them both here. I think it was just the route that they both take was maybe somewhat surprising. But for this 117 roster, obviously things have changed up from last season. But for these guys, you know, you still have to be pushing for those final places. They want to make sure they get into that, of course, final at the end of the competition, at the end of tomorrow. And of course, something we haven't really touched on as well, Lauren, is those champs places as well. Both these two, the teams who are coming through into that grand final, make it to champs. That is a huge part of everybody's reason to be in part of this program. So let's see if they can do it here today.
Yeah, and looking over at this Animus roster as well, I mean, going up against 117 not found. Honestly, I think the one thing I would say about Animus coming in towards this best of 5 is there have been moments in which they would look arguably too relaxed, I think, versus top teams. And I want to see that kind of out today. I want to see them back on full form, firing on all cylinders. We go back towards that match that they lost in the upper bracket against Wanted. And it came all the way down to a game number 5. And I think it was a takeoff search and destroy, if I remember correctly. Things kind of just fell apart from them on the defense. They were not able to win their 50-50s. If they can perfect that today, they should be good.
Well, we said when we ended the regular season a couple weeks ago that they had a little bit of time now to do some VOD review and kind of nail down those last little mistakes here and there that they could work on. We'll take a look at our map picks next and see if they did have any takeaways from the last time all of these teams faced off against each other, as we'll be starting things off with the Summit hardpoint here.
Ooh, looking at it, this is an interesting one, I think, just across the board, right? I mean, like, I think the Summit hardpoint being in is interesting enough just because this was that map, if you remember, that Animus played against Wanted. I think it's the map number 1 of that best of 5, and it went all the way down towards the wire, but it arguably should not have done because we saw that 100-point advantage that Animus kicked off with, or Wanted kicked off with, sorry. So for Animus to do pretty well on the second set there, I think bodes well for them going in towards this best of 5.
Yeah, but it's pretty typical for European Call of Duty Mobile, to be fair. I mean, across the board, you know, we see a Summit, we see a Hacienda, fire range search and destroy alongside Tunisia. That's kind of what we want to see. Raid is in there as well, though. We had seen a couple of differences in the control. We've seen a lot of those teams kind of going for the coin flip of Arsenal for a certain amount of time. I think a lot of these teams will try and avoid that to a certain degree. You can play that one perfectly and then all of a sudden lose a round. So, I mean, that's kind of how control does work, but at the same time, Raid is a bit more of a standard across the board. So, yeah, very standard map set, I want to say, for both these two teams.
Well, this will also determine which team potentially has a little bit of an easier road to try and get through to those finals, to get a spot in the next stage of the competition and get that much closer to claiming the title of the best in the region. Match number 1 is ready to go. So everybody at home, let us know your thoughts. Who you think is taking home the first match of the day? Birdie and Ton, let's kick this thing off.
Alrighty, let's see who's going to make it into the upper bracket finals for the first time. 117 not found and Animus going head to head. We've set this up as a pretty titanic matchup. What we expect to be a good one. I kind of hope it produces now after all we've hyped it up.
I mean, sometimes, you know, it's the games you don't expect that you end up being a banger, and it's sometimes the opposite way around. But yeah, look, I mean, it has the makings of an absolutely fantastic game history across both these two teams, with teammates who have previously went with each other going up against each other. So that is always an interesting storyline, irrelevant of which way the result does pan out. As far as favorites for this one, though, I think it's so hard to call which way we expect this one to go based off what the performance was like in the group stages for both these two squads. It wasn't necessarily as clean as he maybe would have wanted, especially the Animus side. I think for me, you know, you look at how, I mean, no cliche or necessarily intended there with the Wanted side of things, but at the same time, you would have expected them to be a little bit cleaner in that group stage, especially Animus.
Yeah, and I think, you know, especially going into this map number 1, it's kind of hard to call just because of the fact that both of these teams, hardpoint is the game mode in which they've struggled so far across the board. I mean, they're both fine in search and destroy, they're both fine in control, but hardpoint seems to be where they're unable to nail things down. And I think the biggest problem for them thus far has been nailing down key rotations. Now, I will say asterisk to this entire conversation because there's a significantly smaller set of hard points these guys have played going into challenge finals comparatively to last season when we had the round robin stage and these guys have played 7 or 8 hard points. But Even so, looking at the small selection of hardpoints we've seen so far, sometimes it feels like both of these teams have struggled in key rotations, making sure they get early spawn control for those rotations. So if they can fix that going into the Summit hardpoint, this should be interesting. But again, I would remind folks that the Summit hardpoint is a map that we saw between Animus and Wanted, and Animus almost made a hell of a comeback in that map. So we'll see whether or not we see kind of that second set Animus coming into play here. It's time for the first map of Challenge Finals here with Europe as the Rhodes Champs qualification begins.
And I think here for Animus and 117 Not Found, you're very right. We're talking about these rotations, these immediate hills that you're going to have to get yourself some control of the spawns on over. You're thinking about P3 and P4 rotations when it does come down to Summit. And I think sometimes for both these two teams, they rely too much on their slaying ability to get them out of trouble. You can't do that against another team who can slay just as well as you. But so far, so good for Animus. They picked up the first 20 or so seconds. P2 rotations and 3 coming in very, very shortly. Right now, it is, of course, 117 Not Found in control.
And Animus now, first 30 seconds of time, they should be good to get it. And what I'm curious about here is how much teams will send towards P1 time, how cautious they are about PT rotation. Honestly, I will say this much. If I'm 117 Not Found off the back of this hard point, given the fact that Animus have got every single second of time, I am uber cautious about how much I push this one, because Animus have dominated the kill feed for the first hard point. This might actually be the biggest amount of time I've seen any team take here on P1 and Summit hard point in COD Mobile ever.
Yeah, that is insane. You know, we talk about these first initial hills on, I mean, across Call of Duty esports, across the whole entire spectrum, across every single map. These opening hills are always pretty mixy. You take away 30 seconds or so, that's not a regular, but 58 points on P1 from Animus is something to tip the cap to. Nox and Gothilla now trying to make a move over towards P2. They've got the control for P3. It's been a sensational start for Animus.
It just continues to get better as well. 117 Not Found, kind of spinning the wheels a little bit here on P2, struggling to get control. Finally, Animus are the ones to have a decisive victory over the hard point. Now looking for the back 30 seconds. 117 Not Found, despite those favorable spawns, New will be forced in towards this time. Satins is able to double up with the R9. It's also going to be Inferno up top, known as Ikram here in the game, looking for some more kills. Shark will be able to double up here, and that might lead to some good time on Orb. But as we look towards New, big gunfights going down. 117 Not Found trying to hold on, but spawns might actually have just flipped towards Animus.
Yeah, that's a cruel one. They get inside the point here as well, but the next couple of gunfights are so crucial, and you can see which way they've went. Animus holding it down, Annihilator out for Gothilla, and all of a sudden they can start to cook. Oh, and the long range one under Lucky through the window. Fantastic. Well, I want to say it works so far from Animus, but look as well. You take that all day long in terms of the spawns. The Annihilator not quite as clean as Gothilla would have wanted, but those initial points did go over towards Animus. A little bit of a rebuff that they have to come through and find. Right now, you have found a route through if you're 117 Not Found. Satins is in there all alone. Backup's on its way. Sparrow has been invested. We're backing Animus down so far.
And these War Machine pellets from Says not going all that well. As you said, Satins has just sat inside, and he is earning a wealth of time that 117 Not Found are going to want here. Investment coming through from Rasmo from the front. Not going to mean anything, though, because Inferno and Grizz will combine for 3. So for 117 Not Found, what was a disastrous hill has actually turned into a pretty fruitful one. Gothilla's trying for it, and Grizz will pull out the equalizers to ensure that this last set of time is going to be theirs. I will say, Tom, this is a lot of investment from 117 Not Found. I think the first couple of our operators kind of made sense to get inside. I would have been a little bit more cautious with the operator usage towards the end of that hard point, considering now the break towards New, you've only got one to work.
Yeah, you have to be careful for those flips every single time. Shark starting to just do what he does so well, and that's slay out. But I suppose if you find those investments, you find that scrap time, you find some decent time over towards P3. It's all very well if you can find the break over towards New, but you have downfolded ever so slightly. Animus in control as the time has popped. A little bit of control over towards Ice. Gothilla is going to put a couple of bullets into Inferno and a couple more after that as well. Holding it down, Satins is the only one who can find something through the front door. Is he going to get shut down? Of course he is. Shark is there. Former teammates going up against each other, and the equalizer's now out as well. Animus starting to rack those points up once more. But bear in mind, and I think just something to take away from 117 Not Found, 58 of those points from Animus were all found over towards P1, but they are starting to fry now. Shark continuing where he left off. 25 seconds to play full here. It's looking like all of Animus locking this down.
Shark on a tail with these equalizers. I mean, look, the equalizers are a pretty good, hefty operator here in COD Mobile, but Shark makes them look even easier than they actually are. Animus have basically got a full 60 off the back of this hard point. The kill feed is entirely theirs, and if I'm 117 not found here with 10 seconds on the timer for this hard point, I move the heck away and set myself up from a P1. But Tom, we go back to that last set. We saw Animus take a full 60 away. Arguably the reason why they've got the lead they do right now. Can they do it again?
I mean, it'll be very hard to replicate, but it will be some effort if they did manage to do that again. And yeah, that is just an irregular occurrence across the board. Grizz has just dealt with Nox, though. What the hell was that gunfight? Grizz finds it, and now all of a sudden, 117 not found can start to get some control of this game. If you take away the full 60, I know it's all ifs, buts, and maybes, but outside of that, Animus have, well, okay, pretty much been tied across the board against 117 not found. Pretty even after that first hill, and I think you can't let that happen again, though, right? You think to yourselves, we go into a second rotation of hills. Ain't no way we're letting them get a full 60. We might just try and do it ourselves, though. Currently locking it down. You can see already the Sparrow out from Sans. He gets wiped. But still decent control here for 117 not found, and that is a good comeback to try and fight. P2 and 3 coming up in 15 seconds. But a really good job over towards P1 again, but on the other side of things here in this matchup.
Yeah, the lead that Animus had built, I think, early on has now been displayed somewhat. Still a pretty hefty one at 50 points to the good, but still, the lead might well be in reach for 117 not found if they can have a good hold on this hard point. Animus now approaching this one all the way from the front, keeping an eye on player number 5, Shark in for the flank in an attempt to try and flip those spawns out. They have spawned one player out. Investment now coming through. Shark's Predator missile doesn't actually land on anything, but it does send a player inside for long enough that Narks can pick up that frag. Saze can now get involved in the conversation as well. If Shark's idea was to flip the spawns for new, he's done exactly that.
Perfect play. Starting to find the kills at the right moment as well, as the hill had popped. 40 seconds to play for here, but a lot of investment from both these two teams. I think for Lucky, you're going to find a little bit more than that, though. Satins will find two on the back end of things. And still the control for the spawns is going to be there from the side of Animus, but they're starting to lose the gunfight, and maybe the wrong time. Githilla will find one back. That may well be crucial. Gets a second on top of it. But look at the big push coming through the ice side. If we're going to switch over to somebody over on the other side there, it would have been Razmo. He gets wiped up pretty much immediately. Says now going to try and lock this down. I just don't think he knows that there's 3 players here, though, and that is an enforcement of a switch from 117 not found. They just send everybody there, but they still need to get rid of Saze.
Yeah, Saze has been super quiet right now. They have absolutely no idea that he's there. Certainly with the positioning of Sans, I think, suggests that's the case. Sans goes for the check, and Saze is going to win that gunfight. Saze is going to find more value towards the backline now. That's 2 kills. Has that opened the door for Shark? Maybe no. Slayer will shut him down. Through the front of the hard point, though, Narks is able to get through. Back spawns through for 117 not found. Animus, they want to fight this one from the front.
And they're managing to do so far. You can see the equalizer's being popped by Shark already, and he's just going to hold this alley down. There's another one to add to the kill list. Is he going to be able to force his way back through, expecting the flank to come through? Stanton's old teammates just right in front of him, cutting them down. But the kills start to come back through. It is going to be 117 not found to try and find some value back from what was a really good rotation. 30 seconds to play for here. Animus have broke 200. You need everything, but Razmo has just went through the back door, can only find a couple. Everybody else will be shut down. Rotation will be in for Animus over towards the next hill with 20 seconds to go. They're going to be about 40 behind by the time we get over to what was such a valuable P4 for Animus last time out. If they do that again, 117 not found are going to be massively on the back foot.
Animus will be there first towards this next hard point. 117 not found. We want to break pretty much immediately here. They have to do so as a team, though. This can't be an individual effort, and I think Satins is feeling a little bit that right now. He's feeling that solo play. Gets caught out around the backline by Shark. A little bit premature now because the rest of the team are not there to pressure as a squad. Animus should be good for the first few seconds. Annihilator now starting to come out from Gafilla as well. Kills being made across the board here. Narks for a double alongside the snow. Animus now looking for this one. Narks able to get 3 in a row. Coverage now from the players off the respawn as well. Narks surely not for number 4. Animus here. They are holding on. They can still finish it on this hill.
Oh my god, Nox is just going to put the cherry on top with the missile coming in. Big hold coming through from Animus. They can absolutely still win it here. Push going to come in from the ice. He gives it up for 1 second. They sneak on through. But do they have the presence of mind to try and get themselves inside the point? Animus can now not win it here. But a rotation over towards P1, they are surely not going to be far away. You have to just find a little bit more if you're 117 not found. 10 seconds to go. Animus still in control.
Animus just looking for the last few seconds. As you said, they will not find it here on this hard point. 117 not found. This game hanging by its fingertips. Animus just looking for 5 seconds. Sands going to wait patiently inside. Operator's now starting to come out from 117, not found. Sands is going to find 1 kill here, but how much help does he actually have? Lucky over the top of the War Machine is trying to provide the coverage. Says now, can he get through? No. Lucky's War Machine is going to take them down, but Animus now starting to find some of these kills. It's 3. It's 3 for Kafilla, who finds his way through, and that might be it for Animus here in game number 1. And it will be 117 not found. Overwhelmed there on Summit Hardpoint.
Straight from the get-go, right? You see Animus pick up 58 seconds. Look, you think about deficits on a hard point, 60 points is more than enough to start getting a little bit worried. You're heading into the second hill and you're already 60 behind. You're like, oh, goddamn, a mountain to climb almost immediately. And that was kind of the deficit that remained the majority of the game, I want to say. It never really got below 40. Animus never let that lead go. 117 not found, threatened a couple of times. They huffed and they puffed, but just could not quite break the doors down. Animus, really, really good job. And I think, you know, when you do find yourself in that lead, it puts less pressure on these rotations. It puts less pressure on being able to be perfect. You then have the opportunity to make mistakes. Not that they did, but you've seen big plays coming out from them left, right, and center. Fantastic job from Animus in map number 1, and deservedly find themselves in the lead.
I think it's just real crucial moments there for Animus, right? Not just the full 60s they're able to take away, but on the hills they didn't get control of. You know, for example, on the second set, I think it was P3, right, where they didn't have the back spawns. 117 not found had control of the hill, so what do? We can't force our way through the front of this hard point. We're going to hold these guys at bay, make sure they do not flip the spawns out for new, and just make sure that the rotation will be ours if we can't take this time away from 117. That's exactly what they did. Look over to our final scoreboard at the end of that game. Feels like it really is shark infested waters as we have a Shark player going 43 and 26 in that one.
Ridiculous game from Shark. That is very much at the top of the pile. Big slaying game coming out from him, and that does make a difference in those kind of moments. Nobody really there. But 117 not found on the level we would have expected. Every single time that we've seen Grizz kind of in and amongst it, was doing the work with a shotgun, as he so often does, but wasn't enough. I said it, just you immediately put yourself on the back foot there with that P1. You've got to do better. You cannot let the teams get that kind of advantage straight from the rip. As I said, it just gives them the momentum. It gives them the onus to try and like just run the game. You can control it from there, be proactive, and that's exactly what they did. You can't let that happen so early on. A mountain to climb almost immediately. So now you're going to be heading into, I believe, a Tunisia search and destroy. 1-0 down. If you're 117 not found, you will have to bring a lot more to the table than we just seen there. For Animus, though, I think important for them to get map number 1 there. From what we've seen last week, obviously struggles continued, but we didn't see the struggles continue, I should say, when we did head into that first map. Rotations looked fantastic. The game plan overall was obviously just to slay out when you did find those moments. And as you said, you kind of had those pop-off moments from both two teams, but more so from Animus, and so many different moments from Animus on occasion. I think Knocks down Ice Side was really the one that solidified the map. And all of a sudden, we're heading into Tunisia. Animus get a hard point underneath their belts, and now we'll be feeling supremely confident throughout the rest of this series. On to attack for them, first time out. 117 not found on defense.
I'm curious here, because going back to Season 4, Tunisia Search and Destroy was easily the best map in Search and Destroy for Omniscient. And there's a lot of Omniscient players across the board here between 117 not found and Animus. How many of those strategies make their way into this S&D? Are the opposition able to clock them? A lot of questions for me. Haven't seen a lot of Tunisia from either of these two teams. We've seen it once from Animus this season. It was a victory against Nexus. So far, things are pretty slow on Tunisia. Just looking for a way towards the site. Narcs might have just found it.
Is that break going to be able to make something work for them? Shark are still working on something over towards the B side, though. So the threat of something over towards A is what's really worrying 117 not found right now, but what should be worrying them is the amount of utility coming over towards B. You can already see Satins is on his way over. Grizz is slowly making his way through the middle of the map, but Lucky will hold that down as he so often has done. Gothella will find the bullet, and all of a sudden, this is not looking as convincing of a B hit to come through. The grenade is just a little wayward. Nox is looking for the shot, cannot find it. One player has escaped over towards the A side, and that's why you're seeing this bomb get the hell out of dodge. They're already on a rotation over towards A. You can see Says is over there. He's saying, this site is clear. Get here right now.
Yeah, perfect bait coming through from Animus there, but they have to be fast with it, and they can't afford to go down by Grizz. Grizz is going to shock Razmo through the middle of the map here. 20 seconds on the clock as well for Animus to make this move. Saze needs to find some value, and now all of a sudden as Saze goes down, Narks, he was safe on the site, now no longer has to force his way through with the snipes, can only find the one against Slayer. Shark for a 1v3, and that is not going to work there, and it all does just fall apart. Animus, they thought they had a safe site to go to, and as the players started to go down on it, I think that slipped through their fingers.
You were saying it was a bit of a bait over towards B, but I want to actually give a lot of credit to Lucky for finding those shots. Shuts that down. I mean, I think that, they invested so much utility over towards that side, and well, maybe just hold that thought for a second, because the utility that has been invested over towards A side, Satins will find the first one though, and that's going to slow things down because he's just ran through the middle of the map. My goodness me, Satins. Oh my word, how this Grizz just found 3? I mean, there must have been 2 bullets there. What the hell was that?
That is aggression coming out from 117 not found on the defense. Animus, they full send it straight towards A. 117 not found. Recognize the play. Sands opens things up with the first couple of kills, and then Grizz gets straight into the winery. And I think, well, the rest of the players have a bit drunk there. 117 not found. Same kind of story once again here. Sands for the aggression. Sands line them up. Grizz is going to clear house inside winery once more. Couple of kills to do it. 117 not found. A strategy that you don't often see. Getting aggressive on the defense here and really sending Animus off balance.
I mean, Grizz with this R9, he is a pain, to say the least. Don't see him load in with anything else, do you? And rightfully so. One of the best R9 players in the game. Now this is all of a sudden extremely difficult for Animus. I think, the silver lining for them will be that, you're not expected to win a boatload of attacking rounds on Tunisia, but still don't like to lose them in this fashion. First one was relatively close until it was not, but they have been blown out of the water these past 2 rounds, and Ox is going to have to start bending bullets in multiple different directions if he wants to pull this one off. All of a sudden left on his own, very, very weak and very dead. 117 not found, 3 to the good.
I know you said that generally speaking you don't see these offensive round ones, but I still don't think you see it this unconventional.
Yeah.
Like 117 not found, the way in which they're doing this. Generally speaking, it's because the offensive team can't get into the site. It's not because the defensive team gets all up in the kill and play that 117 not found out.
She result in the frag. Animus are able to get the hell out of dodge. They survive on full health. Razmo looking for the opening snipe though, and Inferno. I mean, of course, Inferno's going to win that duel all day long.
It's such a hard fight to find though. Holding the angle, just hoping you're going to catch him off guard. Unlikely to happen. All of a sudden, the onus is put on Animus to try and find something again. A is, well, I mean, strictly speaking, not working right now for them. B looked likely on occasion. Lucky shut them down over there. They didn't want any more of that smoke. But now all of a sudden you've run into what feels like the lines down over towards A. Slayer locking it down from this side. You can see Grizz pushed up. He's finding the kill here as well, isn't he? Of course he is, because it's Grizz with the R9. There's 7 in 4 rounds. And he's got time for a couple more in this one.
Animus just cannot get through, no matter what they try. But this is a bit of a different look coming out from Animus, and I'm curious about the route that they actually end up taking, because if they do opt to go towards B, there's an opportunity to catch a player off guard, depending on whether or not the timing is there for Satins, because he's looking back and forth here between both of these different options. Here we go. Is the timing good? Satins has just spotted him out, and I think Gefilla just took a little bit too long with that one. It needed to be fast, it needed to be furious, and now it wasn't. And I can't imagine that Shark is long for this. Well, either the smoke is actually going to be screaming after he gets away. Will get traded out, though. Says now from the other side. Is he going to get some poor timing? Yes, he is. Was not able to catch Satins off guard despite the reactivity. And again, I feel like if Animus were maybe a little bit more decisive of that, it might have worked.
It feels like they're waiting for the round to come to them. And when you're on the attack on Tunisia, you can't do that. You have to be the ones being proactive. They haven't been able to find an opening whatsoever over these last 4 rounds. It has been a stout defense from 117. Not found. They're getting aggressive through the middle of the map again. Here's a second one for Grizz. Incoming, not quite. Shark will find it. Satins will fall. And that is the first time that the aggression has not been rewarded. But Inferno says, yeah, okay, bet, nade, snipe, get the job done. And all of a sudden, it's a 3v2 in favor of 117 not found.
Like 117 not found, just have all the correct attributes here to win out on Tunisia Search and Destroy. They've got that sniper prowess. They've got that aggression when required. Animus feel like they're stuck in the mud.
The problem for Animus here, though, is they probably would have expected maybe a little bit more presence towards the middle of the map right now. So they feel like they're a little bit secluded, but realistically, the middle of the map is wide open. So what can they do with it? The beauty of Codecaster. We can tell them what to do because we know everywhere where everybody else is, Brody. It's a curse. But B is looking like the more likely option. One player pushed up over towards that side is going to be Lucky, but he is way pushed up. You can see now they're going to try and clear out the backside. They're not going to see anybody there, but they are just not expecting Lucky in this position whatsoever.
Yeah, you've got to check that back line because that's generally speaking where a player is going to be. Lucky's going to catch them off guard. Nope, misses the snipe, and Saves will actually take that gunfight all day long. So with 35 seconds on the clock here, we'll see an extension of that as the bomb does go down. Now the onus is on 117, not found to retake the site. Says spends a little bit too long dilly-dallying on the flank. Inferno's going to take him down. And you'll likely know that Narks is also positioned here as well. He will pick up Slayer though. So now 1v1 of the snipes, and Narks is able to win out against Inferno in it. It's a rare situation, but Inferno's been out-sniped.
Holds the angle for the first, waiting for the push to come through. And the second, he just knows where he is and snaps onto him. That's a round that Animus absolutely needed into their final round of the attack. And a 4-2 scoreline heading into defense, you take that all day long. 5-1 will sound very, very different though. Big stack over towards the A side, and for Animus, this has just not worked whatsoever throughout the previous 5 rounds. 6 times the charm? I don't know.
Honestly, I think the start of this round has been kind of the idea that you want to prevent that aggression from taking you and catching you off guard early on. They were being very cautious that Sans and Grizz were doing what they were doing back in rounds number 2 and 3. First blood though, second blood as well. Narks once again going huge here for Animus. It's given them full control of the site. They're wasting no time getting that bomb down.
I'm going down. Utility usage to get on the site was wonderful. We'll maybe touch on that again if they do manage to win this round, but Santans has put it to a more achievable round for the side of 117 not found. Grizz going to make it even more so. Now you got to hold this down if you're Animus. 30 seconds on this bomb, but look at the flank play coming through from Lucky. That's why 117 not found. Santans and Grizz, they're sitting in wait. Lucky on the way around with 20 seconds to go. He's going to have to break this wide open if they want to win this round. Nox is going to shut him down, though. The flank was being watched. Now he's starting to move into play. If you're Grizz, he's going to fall. And, of course, it's Satins to drop. Grizz left on his own. Can't do anything from here. Big attacking round from Animus. And just for me, Brody, that the utility usage, they waited, they got control of wine, and all of a sudden send everything through the front door. Work their way from there. Nox opens things up. The rest is history.
Yeah, I think towards the end there, 117 not found were very much reliant on the fact that Lucky wasn't spotted out. Unfortunately for him, as soon as he turned towards Winery, he was, and while the play just fell apart as soon as Alex was able to pick up that fight. So Animus get their second offensive round on the board here as we go towards the defense. Grizz finding a route through the middle of the map and somehow surviving by virtue of help from his teammate in Satins. Unfortunately, Satins will actually go down afterwards, as does Grizz. So now it's all just down to Lucky and Slayer, and despite the unconventional start to the round, 117 have not found a route towards either of these two sites and are now really in no position but to split up and try to get something done individually.
I think a big catalyst of a lot of their success over these last 6 rounds was really just coming from the aggression in the middle of the map. And, well, you can do that on attack as well, and that's exactly what happened. But this time around, they do not get the rub of the green. But the big flank coming through over towards this B side, they know that Lucky is up there. So I don't think anyone's going to answer this question. Over towards the B side, Slayer starting to make the move. As Lucky will find one on the other side of things. Nox will be calling this out. Slayer will try to get out. He cannot. So that is bombed down. And now a 1 versus 3 for Lucky to try and pull off. Rasmo, of course, over towards the A side, but this is a difficult round to win for Lucky now.
It's just kind of the problem, right? In that splitting up of the play, you want to do something individually, but as the bomb carrier goes down, Lucky's now in a very awkward spot. Has to really split the difference here. Has to go full phase 5. Can he get it done? Spotted out. Shots against him. Lucky going to be sent away. He's weak for the reach out with 25 seconds left. Not really much of a choice to do anything else but. And it is going to be around here for Animus. Again, 117 not found. In Search and Destroy, they do these things that are kind of cheeky. They come out with these unconventional starts to the round, but sometimes it can work against them. That was one of those.
You got a bit of timing as well with Grizz. Get through the middle of the map. Just ended up in a trade. And again, same story. Grizz is having such an entertaining time that he's like, okay, well, let's just do it all over again. Straight through the middle of the map with a shotgun. And then you have the cover coming in from Satins and Lucky. It's Lucky to pick up the kill. And now they're moving over towards B. is almost inevitable. The rest of the players who have been just doing such good work in the middle of the map are going to stay here. Satins and Grizz are ready to just make a move wherever they need to. Slayer going to check the corners. This bomb's going to go down to B.
Yeah, the problem is you've pushed Narcs out if you're Animus here, right? Narcs, I think, effectively reacted there by trying to make a move through the middle of the map, but by the time he'd done so, he'd lost the second player on the site and lost full control as well. I am curious about this one, though, because 117 Not Found seem to have split their forces somewhat. Satins and Grizz are positioned over by A. There's an opportunity to rotate away from the site. And as Grizz has found Gefilla, that might now be the play. You have a lot of options here. You've got a wealth of time to make this one happen. Animus, again, in that same position 117 were in the last round. No choice but to split the forces. Narcs is trying to make this situation more palatable. Goes to the sniper to get it done. On the other side, Satins is tempting fate, tempting death. Narcs looking for these fights. And finally, he is going to get caught out. Satins just leads him straight into the path of Grizz and path of death.
Good shot from Razmo, but I think it will matter very, very little. Grizz with 13 kills to his name, and it's unlucky for some, and right now it's unlucky for Animus. 117 Not Found's aggression through the middle of the map is just being led by Grizz. Is it going to be number 14, Razmo? Probably doesn't want to end up as another stat, but he will. Grizz finds a minimum of 4 in that round, and that is now a 5-3 lead for 117 Not Found. Very good position for them to be in, but to find that attacking round nice and early gives them just a little bit of a buffer. It gives them time. Animus will still feel like they can come back into this game. But one apiece after 2 attacking rounds, you take that all day long.
I was talking about 117 Not Found being an unconventional team in Search and Destroy. Certainly one of the most unconventional teams in Search and Destroy I have ever seen here in Call of Duty Mobile. And this is a much more standard round from them. They're playing this one much more tactically, much more slow. Still keeping their options open early on in this round. And I think a lot of this is going to come down to Inferno up top in Winery. You can see the way he's positioned, as is Satins, towards the A site. If they can find some bloods here on the move forward, it would probably move this bomb over towards A. But even so, feeling what's going on a little bit. Just trying to find something.
I wonder if Animus have just kind of given up that mid-map to a certain degree just purely because they've been losing out on those gunfights. Stays is going to hold the acute angle, Lucky and checking it. But a big push coming on over towards the B side. Shark in the corner. He's going to have a full stack of teammates to help deal with now 3 members of 117 Not Found. You back down from the B side. Razmo, he wins that gunfight against Inferno. Is a clean round so far. Coming through from Animus. 5 versus 2 in their favor.
And getting back into this round now is just going to be so difficult because, again, Animus do have players sat in really weird positions. I think, again, you point out Shark in the corner, right? Sat, chilling in the plant. I don't think anyone's ever going to spot that one out. Grizz might have actually just found the perfect route in behind, though, and somehow... How the hell has Knox got away with that? How does he get away with that gunfight, mind you? And now there's one more player left on the slate. Slayer is going to get taken down by the surprise jack-in-the-box that is Shark, but still... How that penultimate gunfight even happened like that, I have no idea.
Considering that Grizz has not missed a bullet with the R9 so far in this game.
Just misses Narcs instead.
Yeah, just misses that one. Look, I think he has the silver lining of the round was probably done anyway, but he finds that there may be something's on the cards. Big investment over towards the B side, though, for 117 Not Found. That aggression. A pattern and aggression that has just been working out so well for them, and Grizz specifically. Comes out over towards B. Bomb is down, 45 seconds to go. Has to be a 5v5 retake.
This is very fast from 117 Not Found. Animus once again forced out of sight. Keep an eye on player number 2, though. Razmo looking for a flank through the middle of the map. Might have just found Inferno and does. So that's them found out. Animus now needs to be much more honest about this one through the front. Couple of players up top with the pre-fire, though. It's Satins and it's Grizz. Would you Adam and Eve it? They're there for the kills. Grizz is going to find the first one. Razmo, though, through that route is able to trade things out. Now a 3 versus 2. 2 versus 2. Grizz now left alive here for 117. Not Found. Time not on his side. It does not matter. Animus able to perfectly retake the site. And those things are very, very difficult to pull off.
A wonderful retake by Animus. And that is maybe a huge moment because you think with the aggression, you think with the setup, 117 Not Found have got this on lock. The push comes through, and I think the smoke towards the back just created absolute chaos. They maybe get a little bit of fortune to get through there, but maybe they go back to their roots. If you 117 Not Found, just hit the middle of the map and see what happens. Grizz now sent down this angle. Shark is holding it from a tighter one. Goes up for the child. He should be down to rights. There you go. Grizz will find it. He just cannot give them an inch. And well, if you're Inferno, you take the mile. Rasmo will fall. All of a sudden, a 5v3 in 117 not found's favor. They had an advantage in the previous round. They got a bigger one now. Animus need to hold this down through hell or high water. Says.
Says are going to find that fight. Turns this down to a 3 versus 3 now. This is not a situation I think that 117 ever imagined that they'd ever have to be in. And you got to remember as well, I don't think they know that they've got the B site clear. So still a lot to be found out here in this round for 117 not found. But if they do realize it pretty quickly that the B bomb site is theirs, fortune might well fall in their favor, especially if Saturn's is sat right in the middle of the map. Might be able to catch some rotating players off guard. I think Sands really is the key to this play for 117.
I think 117 are just kind of waiting and presuming that Animus are going to think they're going to be. It's kind of a bit of a double bluff, Brody. They're going to be able to pull it off. Satins is going to back on down. They're going to start to have to make a move very shortly. 30 seconds to go. Nades out, utility out for somebody who is just not there. That nade back over, though, on the other side of things is not going to land at anybody, so no information gained from Gathilla. This bomb now will go down over towards the B side, and 45 seconds remaining on the clock. Nobody to worry about in the middle of the map, but you very much have something to worry about in the form of Grizz, who has 17 to his name. Is he going to be able to add another 3?
Just insane, Grizz. I mean, I know we're pretty deep into the search and the story, but still 17 kills is wild. Here we go, though. Open engagement. Slayer able to take Says out on the flank. Nox gets through. Grizz is going to turn on him just like that. Last player for Gathilla. And everybody wins their ones there as the defense of the site. 117, I think, almost bluffed themselves out of that round. They're able to get the bomb down. Animus not going to get that retake off.
I mean, this is just the Grizz show. They're winning by 1 round. He's got 18 kills. Maybe a frustrating one if they don't come away with it for him, at least, anyway. But that's a good round for 117 now not found to find, because all of a sudden, what was 2 defensive rounds to win the map for Animus is now 1 more defensive round to send it to overtime. A very different situation to be in. Nox has had a good game for Animus, sitting on 11. We'll have to continue to do so because it is looking like B is going to be the route. Utility going over towards A. You can see that coming through, but there's the information gain. Nox will be saying, bloody hell, help me. There is a lot of them.
Nox goes down to Shark. You've got to do something here. The smoke is not going to help, but Shark will still pick up 1 regardless. Bomb not down yet for 117. Shark still doing enough of a job, showing his teeth against 117. And Says able to pick Satins off as well up the top. So now things are going to get more difficult for 117 here in this play. You ideally need to find Shark before getting this bomb down, but Shark's just not giving enough of himself away. And at what point do you retreat? Because there's 55 seconds left on the clock here. You either need to hit this now or rotate towards A.
Not going to try and clear them out. That 1 player up top is just going to create so much issue. Rasmo, I think luckily for 117 not found. That's pistol in hand right now. Shark looking to try and find a route back into the site. He's about to find it. Inferno should be dead to right. Shark puts the bullets in. He finishes him off. Now all of a sudden, Lucky and Slayer, you're left on your own in a 2 versus 4. It was a promising start to this round, but it's looking like overtime is destined to be found. Rasmo, fantastic shot to kill that one off, and now all of a sudden 6 apiece. Really good job from both these 2 teams. Identical attack for both squads, and 2 rounds found. 117 not found. I think have probably had themselves in better positions in this one. Animus have clutched up, but now onto the attacking side for Animus. Into overtime we go.
Alrighty, we switch back. Animus now on the offense. What do? Taking a page out of 117's book. They're getting aggressive through the middle of the map, and they will take probably the most important player on the board. Well, off the board. Grizz, out of the round. Animus now looking for a way towards the site, but Lucky is holding steadfast towards the back of B now. Need to hold a little bit more, a little bit longer, so that Satins and the rest of the team can come on, help out. But Lucky has already done enough here.
Just prolonging this attack. Giving his team time, as you mentioned. Oh, Shark is going to be here, though. He wants to try and pick up Slayer, who's going to pick up the R9 of Grizz. Isn't able to do anything with it. Shark will add another. Great start for Animus on this attacking round. This should be theirs. Lucky now, not so much. Rasmo will find him, and all of a sudden it is just down to Satins in a 1 versus 4. This would be miraculous, but it's players of certain caliber that can pull off this kind of thing. Get some decent bullets in, but just too many opposition. Says we'll find him. Great start to the overtime. Coming in from Animus. And that is a crucial attacking round. Now over towards the defense. Very much favored to win this map.
Big offensive round from Animus. Big aggression at the start of the round. 1-7. They thought they held it, but they didn't. Now 1-7. Need to see something ingenious from them. Lolly Futility over the top. Couple of players on site to contend with, but they're being aggressive this one. They want to get it done fast. Opening trades going down. Inferno for 1-7 not found. Is it good enough to cross the site? No, it's not. Satins will fall. Slayer out in the open's going to get cut down too. Animus, they've got the numbers. Lucky will snipe off Says. And as the dust settles after that engagement here, we're in a 3 versus 2.
I think you got to give a lot of credit to Gothilla. He hasn't had the best of games here, but just staying alive, finding different angles. Well, now he can't move an inch, but he's going to have to now because the grenade's coming in. Doesn't hit. Inferno just trying to find a pick. Will Animus give him that opportunity? He makes the move out. Is this being watched? Is this cross being watched? Gothilla could potentially be in a lot of danger because Inferno is just walking through the site, but Shark strikes at the right time, and Lucky can find nothing. Animus in overtime will get the job done and find themselves 2 to the good here in this series. Fantastic performance in the search and destroy. They were behind for the majority, but when they took the lead, they never let it go.
Yeah, brilliantly done from Animus there in the overtime, and it was just a really close search and destroy on the whole. A lot of back and forth from both of the rosters, and we saw that kind of trademark aggression in search and destroy. I thought that was maybe the way into the series for 1-7 not found, where they were coming out with some ingenious strategies early on to unsell Animus. But as we got the distance, we went all the way towards overtime. It was just a couple of nice strategies coming out from Animus that really did split the difference. Honestly, for me, I think it was that penultimate round where we haven't really seen Animus get uber aggressive like that. Pretty much all search and destroy along. But like, look, now's the time to do something a little bit different. Are able to get it done towards the end. Wow, what an S&D. Love overtimes like that. And couldn't ask for anything better here in one of our first matches of Challenge Finals.
I think if you're Animus, though, you were losing out on those aggressive rounds nearly every single time. You weren't the ones maybe initiating them, but you were losing out. So I suppose for them to pull it out on the overtime attacking round, I mean, if it was me, I'd rather be on attack first in overtime, just purely because you can send it. If you win the round, it puts so much pressure on the other side. And if you lose it, you're like, okay, well, we got defense. We're more than likely to win this one. It isn't quite as one-sided as it has been in the past. Both these two teams know exactly what they're doing on attack, but you would absolutely love to go into an overtime with a defense to win it. 1-7 not found, just faltering. If I'm Grizz, I am furious.
Oh, man. You know, in multiplayer, it's one of those things, right, where you kind of throw your controller against the wall. In mobile, I don't think you can throw the phone. I wouldn't throw a phone. I think it's significantly more valuable. You can, but I wouldn't advise it. It's much more valuable than a controller is, but still, I'm pretty mad if I'm Grizz in that situation. 18-10 is Grizz, and yet still, it was not enough, as now we see Animus 2-0 up in this series. We go to the Control, and Control again is one of the modes in which both of these teams managed to clutch up against their respective rosters they played in their upper bracket finals match for qualification. So this really does feel like a 50-50 split here. We don't really know how this one's going to go.
Yeah, look, we really don't have any indication based off the first 2 maps that we've seen, but if I'm 1-7 not found, I'm a little tilted, especially if you're Grizz. Of conversations being had, well, if they have done, maybe not the best of times to do it, but Animus now will find themselves on the attack pretty much from the get-go. Both these two teams have got history on raid. The spawn trap is a crucial one, maybe not as, I don't want to say cheesy as we have seen on some of the other maps, but pushing it over towards B pretty much immediately here for the side of Animus, and they're going to start to get a lot of joy over towards this side. That's momentarily 4 down, and B is going to be pretty much gone. Gothilla starting to make some inroads over towards A. A fantastic start for Animus.
Just a bit of a distraction play there for Animus as Gothilla gets a couple of kills over by A, while they have basically free reign over by B. And to be honest, at this point in the game, if I'm 1-7 not found, and I think you can kind of see it there on the minimap, the way in which they're playing the map, they're setting themselves up for that spawn trap inside the garage. B is chalked. There is nothing you're doing about B. An extra 60 seconds is going on the board regardless, and now all of this becomes a lot more weighty on picking up some kills for this inevitable spawn trap. They just can't do it, though. It's going to be Inferno taken out. There goes Lucky as well. If Satins falls here, this is disastrous for 1-7 not found, and there Satins goes. And 1-7 still have players around here, but for Animus, I mean, you've survived that attempted spawn trap.
think if I'm Rasmo, I want to try and make a little bit of a move because your team are not quite pinned in to what they were. I mean, Inferno is going to find them, but makes things a little bit more difficult if you're then attacking on the flank of the other side. It's almost like the map doesn't split vertically. It's more of a horizontal one at this stage. But so far for 117 not found, not a bad start to the defense over towards your single point that is remaining, but a little bit of an inroad now made from the side of Animus. They can get out this spawn. They're maybe not worrying about the flank just as much. All the utility used over towards the A side says we'll find Saturns, and here is your opportunity.
Here we go. Animus looking to make their way on towards the point. Grizz is going to get a couple by open steps, though. That's going to alleviate a hell of a lot of pressure here. It'll make Animus question whether or not they should be hitting this as aggressively as they are. Grizz still like those spawns, though. Going to get shut down by Gakula. Also picking up fights here, and all of a sudden, Animus, they've made their way towards the point. After a push forward, but players towards the point are starting to fall. Days long to get this one going, and while he does make his way towards the basketball point, it's not for a three-pointer. His positioning is still everything for Animus here.
Oh, can you get away from Inferno? You can. That's huge that he survives in the middle of the map. And really, it's been 117 not found, just controlling that area the entire round. Nox is going to be able to answer back. All of a sudden, we do have an 8 versus 8 onto the point. Has got to be the option here now for Animus. They have stopped the clock. They're about to get their second tick. You need to make a move right now. If you 117 not found, it's going to be Inferno to be the tip of the spear. But Cathilla and Nox starting to find the kills. Animus now in a 7 versus 5. 117 not found. You cannot fall. And there goes your talisman player in Grizz. The aggression comes through. Cathilla will find another. It's a 6v3. They've got to move now.
Sand slice out towards the point, and all of this starting to fall apart now. Inferno is just anticipating over aggression, and while that is the correct call, Animus open things strong here on raid control with an offensive victory. A hell of a statement, and 117 not found sent reeling. Their map control in that entire round, beyond the one effort to spawn trap, was non-existent. Animus are walking all over them. Let's see if the offensive round here from 117 not found is any better. They've opted to go straight towards A. 4 players sent in that direction, though, so the call is the correct one, but is the follow-up just as good because they're going to be facing down a war machine?
The call was the correct one. Oh, from both sides by the looks of things. Cathilla will find 2, make it 3 with the Annihilator, and that's just opened things wide now for them to force themselves forward, try and find themselves a bit of a spawn push. Nox is here and just causing a ridiculous amount of issue. Sparrow threading the eye of a needle. Zikram will find one back. Inferno doing a good job just to maybe ease some of that pressure. And something I just wanted to touch on, the end of that round, 117 not found invested a war machine. Crazy to see it come out at the final moments to try and save it. They lose out, of course. Grizz doesn't seem to have lost out once in this entire series, but somehow his team find themselves 2-0 down. Now all of a sudden the push over towards B is looking good. Animus have already done a lot of damage. 43 seconds remaining. They are here in numbers to try and stop this from happening.
Saze stood still. I don't like this. I think this might be a temporary disconnect coming out from Saze as well. A couple of players, I think, across the board actually for Animus are going to struggle, and that's going to give an opening here for 117 not found towards the point. They should be able to get this one done. How many players are not moving right now? This is kind of concerning. There's a lot of players for Animus that are currently situated, a lot of players trying to reconnect towards the server, and all of this is offering a lot of opportunity here for 117 not found to make their way over by the point. Narcs is now going to start to move, as are players towards the point as well, but they have to win these gunfights. Lucky and Satins are going to open things up with a couple of kills. 117 not found are storming around the flank, but Animus, good enough hit hold, maybe.
Oh my word. Oh, I look, disconnect or not, then they've just cleared them out. Inferno will find one with the Annihilator. They're like, oh, is your phone book working, boys? Oh, no, it's not working. Oh, okay. Oh, no, I'm back. And they're all getting killed. A ridiculous from Animus. 16 versus 9. I think they maybe would have been talking to the admins had they not found themselves back in this position. 117 not found. Absolute free reign over towards B. Haven't been able to make a count yet. Inferno is going to find Rasmo. You have opened things up here towards this pool side, but again, the mid-map control has been an issue. Not for Satins and Slayer, though. They'll find a couple. Grid's going to bring in the Predator missile. They open them wide. 9 versus 6. Can you get through and do something if you're Shark? How on earth he found 2? Surely he doesn't find a 3rd. My goodness me, Shark. It's ridiculous plays from Animus. It's a 9v3, make it a 9v2 because Shark ain't missing a bullet. My word, how have they turned this round around?
Our mage Shark. He's aqueous. He's got a pool right next to him. That is his grounds to cover. And Slayer, I mean, you're in a 1v9. You can see the way that Slayer is playing this one. This is damage control at this point, trying to buy some time that the operator can come through perhaps for the next round. But that's surely not going to happen. He's going to find Narcs. 20 seconds, though. Time is going to start to push him towards the point, and it's inevitable that he will end up falling. Shark single-handedly shuts down the rebellion from 117 not found. And now we need to see the perfect reverse sweep coming out from 117, a roster that's shocked exclusive during challenge season. Now I need to pull up a reverse sweep here in the control, and a reverse sweep in the series has to start now.
Oh, and that's just not the start you want to see. B was just so easy, and it's so much easier. If Says is going to find four with the War Machine, just line them up and knock them down. Aggression continued to come through here on every single angle. If you're Animus, you want to just take what map control you can get and run with it. Pressuring over towards B, that's ticking on through. 117 not found. Yeah, you have to choke it. You have to get control of A. Mid-map was a bit of an issue last time around, and it's a bit of an issue that Stays is in money window. He finds a couple more, and Animus are running away with this game.
This is not the start you wanted to a potential double reverse sweep from 117 not found. You are 8 lives down now. Animus are just a moment away from capturing B. They don't actually have the players over there, but that's because of the fact that they've moved over towards A and are now putting the pressure over on that point. This one already starting to feel like a foregone conclusion unless 117 not found can find some kind of gear. Lucky will pick up a couple of kills now. Filigree invest in later to try and make sure that B is done. There goes Inferno. Now plays through the middle of the map towards Art's side. And Animus are sending everything towards the point now to try and get B done and add the extra 60 seconds to the board. But Ton, I mean, you have to ask the question, are they going to need it? Because this life advantage is perhaps the most daunting thing right now for 117.
It's not quite insurmountable, but it is daunting. You are right. Starting to chip away here, though. A couple of players from the side of Animus as well, maybe having issues. Have people been charging their phones again, Brody? We've had this issue before. Narcs is going to reconnect. That's allowed a couple of kills to fall their way. I think it's just a huge credit towards Animus. I mean, Inferno has just walked straight past Githilla, who is right now nowhere to be seen. Gets them back in, and Nox and Shark are doing this all on their own. 16 versus 7 as Githilla and Says reconnect. Oh no, we're back, boys. Let's even get back into this game. Oh, we're winning anyway. This has happened before.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter right now. Animus might be in a bad spot, but it's okay because they can always bring it back. Shark now starting to slay out once again, get him towards the water, and that's where he feels best. Animus with a 3-0 in the control, a 3-0 in the series, are one step closer to booking their ticket to champs.
That is insane. Look, I think map number 1, straight from the get-go, didn't quite smoke them, but a very comfortable map number 1 nonetheless. The Search and Destroy, though, that's the one that 117 not found are going to be looking at. Grizz will be starting an inquisition as to why the team could not turn that run around. He dropped, what, 18 kills, and they couldn't help him out. That's one of those that you'll look back on and say, right, okay, if we found that we're heading into another hard point that we maybe felt a little more comfortable on. But the control, I mean, look, these things kind of happen in terms of when you're playing an online game. Sometimes faults do happen. It is just one of those things. I'm not too sure what was going on with the Animus squad, but all seeming to disconnect at the same time, and 117 still didn't find a round. I mean, just blown out of the water entirely. They had their one opportunity, and Shark just said, yeah, no. Incredible work from the side of Animus to get this one done. 3-0 in the control, 3-0 in this series. And that will be them in a winner's final in a dominant fashion.
I mean, Animus are setting themselves up really well right now, Brody. I want to jump in here because for everyone at home who didn't realize how the seeding worked for finals, it's obviously the first place team out of Group A versus the second place team out of Group B, and then vice versa, first out of B, second out of A. So Animus was the second place team out of Group B who just took down 117, who was the first place team out of A, which means right now, if you were going off of their performances in the challenge season, the only team that Animus really has to worry about is Wanted, the first place team, the only team they've lost to now out of that, because we saw a crazy upset against Exclusive out of 117 with a really strong performance, and now Animus come out in 3-0 117. So I obviously all of 4 of these teams are actually really close across the board. We hyped up Exclusive so much heading into the season with really high expectations out of them. And I don't think it's not that Exclusive didn't meet them. I think it's that all these other teams came ready to play. And now Animus have moved up in this bracket. Like you said, they're one more step closer, Brody, to being in the grand finals, to being the best in the region, to claiming a spot at champs.
Yeah, perhaps I'll eat my words here as we get into the next series in just a second. But I have a sneaky feeling that Exclusive might have more to give us. I have this feeling. I don't know what it is, but going back towards that matchup against 117 Not Found, it didn't feel like the Exclusive that we know and love. And I think that would be the one threat, if I had to give one for Animus here in this bracket, is if Exclusive do step up and play the way, let's be frank, that they should have played back in that matchup versus 117 Not Found. I don't think it's going to be as easy as we might make it out to be.
Well, for everybody at home, also, 117's not out of it yet. You saw on the bracket, they just dropped down to the lower bracket. They'll still have an opportunity tomorrow to continue through on the lower side of the bracket and still secure the second spot to champs, to still fight for the best in the region. So no one is out yet. It just means Animus is that much closer to getting to the next step of the competition. But like Brody said, we still have the Exclusive versus Wanted matchup right around the corner to see what both of these teams can bring to the table. Before we get into that, though, we're going to send it to a short break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, DHL, and the United States Air Force.
Looks like the players are ready. Here we go!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Snapdragon Pro Series, where we are about to head into our second match of the day here for day one of the Challenge Finals in EU. Our first match has concluded. Animus moves forward in that upper bracket, with 117 being knocked down into the lower bracket. And now it's time to see which team will join Animus in that upper bracket. We've got Exclusive and Wanted right around the corner. So let's start talking about these two teams, Brody. Exclusive up first.
Yeah, Exclusive, I kind of mentioned it before the break, right? We had that shock result with 117 not found, beating them out in the upper bracket final of their group. And I think that was a massive shock because we'd set everything up, right? Is Exclusive are the team to beat this season. They are the only team that has kept their roster for the most part. Obviously, they'd made that one small change with Shark going out for Aether joining the roster, but that's effectively just a sub. Their core roster has remained the same. And for that reason, we set them up as the #1 team in the region. I don't think they've lived up to that so far. They had a lot more competition this time around, and they felt it.
I mean, and then on the flip side, this was something that I was kind of mentioning before we went to the break, Tom. We've got Wanted, and Wanted was the team out of Group B that took out Animus in a really close 3-2 fashion. I mean, we had a bunch of these matches that went the full 5, but Wanted is another really solid roster.
Yeah, solid is what we kind of expected from them. Not going through in first place, though, I think was the presumption. Look, the fact that they were managed to be able to beat Animus is a real testament to how well this team has been working together. Going on to do it again, though, I think consistency is what we want to see from them, because going up against Exclusive here, who will be as much, if not more, of a challenge than you would have expected out of Animus. But at the same time, we sort of question marks over Exclusive in one way and question marks of Wanted in another. Positive for Wanted and maybe negative for Exclusive.
Get to see that roster there that you were talking about, Brody, as well. And you know, like you said, we did have some really high expectations for Exclusive, and we set that bar up there to see if they could meet it. And you know, whether that is the other teams playing out of their minds or Exclusive not meeting it, now doesn't matter. Everybody made it here in the Challenge Finals. This is kind of that mini reset for everyone, and now Exclusive have to fight for one of those spots and champs to get the title in the region and prove why we had set that bar up as high as it was. We'll get the map picks up here as well as we continue to kind of talk about this matchup and see what our teams have done now in the little bit of downtime between the end of the season now into finals. And we're starting things off with the Hacienda hardpoint. You don't look excited about this, Brody.
I don't like that this is here, I'll be honest. I don't understand why this wasn't banned by Wanted. This is my thing. So first and foremost, it's important to note that Hacienda Hardpoint is a map that Exclusive have lost this season once, but it was a really close loss. However, this was also the map in which they absolutely walloped 117 not found. It was like a 250 to 82. I literally have it on my notes. There's one map that Wanted needed to ban, and it's this one, and I'm very surprised that it did get through. It's also worth saying, as we get into the best of 5, that Hardpoint is going to be the single most important mode between these two teams. So to see it there, bit of a shock.
Yeah, I think, I mean, how long have we talked about it in terms of the picks and bans, the vetoes, all kind of coming through and not making a lot of sense throughout our entirety of watching SPS side of things. It's constantly something that teams need to work on. Clearly, Wanted are just like ego challenging it. I mean, that's just one of those where you're like, right, okay, well, we'll go up against them and just see what happens. Yeah, you would have liked to see it go. On the other side of things, Arsenal's going to come through as well, so that's a bit of a question mark for both two teams. Hackney Yard coming through map number 4 should be interesting, but very standard on the search and destroy side of things. Yeah, I think teams need to start doing it though, because I mean, are you looking to sort of pick your good maps, or do you want to make it more difficult on the opposition? At this level for Wanted, make it more difficult for the opposition. Exclusive are a very well-rounded team. It does not matter what map you're going to go on, it is going to be difficult. But if you want to not play them on one of their best maps, that's probably a good idea.
We'll have to see what Wanted are thinking here. Maybe they know something we don't, or maybe it just wasn't the best map picks and bans situation that we have going on here. Either way, both these teams should be about ready to get into the second match of the day. So everybody at home, let us know your thoughts as well. Will be Exclusive moving along in that upper bracket, or will it be Wanted with what could potentially be an upset here in match number 2 on the day? Either way, it's sure to be another exciting match. So let's dive into match number 2.
Alrighty, well, we said hardpoint is going to be the most important map in this best of 5, or maps, because technically speaking, it's 2 of them. And I still believe that going into this best of 5. For the opposite reasons, though, that we saw in the last series. Last series, it's because hardpoint was the worst mode for both of these 2 teams. This series, it's because it's the best mode for both of them. Wanted haven't lost a hardpoint yet. They're the only team in European COD Mobile to have that behind them. Exclusive have, but they have the best differential, a plus 106.8 differential coming out of challenge season. So we have 2 titanic hardpoint teams clashing in that number 1.
And that's with losing a map as well. So that is that's ridiculous, to be honest with you. So look, I think Wanted are still up against it, though. Yes, okay, they haven't lost one, but you know, we talked about Animus being their main sort of competition in their group. Animus have always really struggled with hardpoint, whereas Exclusive are not that team. So, like, let's see how things going to transpire between these 2. Exclusive, for me, will absolutely be the favorites, and they will be coming into this with something to prove. They know that, realistically, they got the easy end of the draw. For all due respect to Wanted, they will be seen as the 4th favorite team in and amongst this group, irrelevant of group finishing position or anything like that. Exclusive will feel confident in this matchup, but can Wanted surprise us again here, Brody?
Well, we'll see what kind of exclusive I think we get in this map to see whether or not that's going to be the case, right? Is it going to be that team that just does not care whatsoever and is just going to fly at you and completely dominate the map? Or is it going to be one of those teams where maybe it feels a little bit uncertain at times? We shall see, but so far so good for exclusive. They're going to dominate the kill feed at the start of this game. Keep an eye on that rotation towards P2, folks. That is going to be one of the most important rotations we have here on Hacienda. And Champy comes in from behind, a player that's been so good for Wanted here in the challenge season. Comes in for a couple of kills, but it doesn't quite secure those spawns just yet.
25 seconds to play for. At this stage, in map number 1 between the previous 2 teams, I think it was Animus already 60 ahead by the end of this hill. Ridiculous plays coming through, and Wanted have actually done a really good job. Exclusive are going to be the first ones there, but you can already see that Kairu was on his way over towards the garage, but he is going to get shut down, and there the kills come through at just about the right time and make it all 5. Fall Exclusive's way just as the hill is about to pop. Yeah, okay, we've got time. Let's get rid of that. No problem whatsoever. So much time for them to set up here as well, Brody. It's going to be a long time before one did even see the hard point.
Yeah, the setup from Exclusive. I think teams have gotten a lot better at breaking it, but it's going to be more difficult when you've got flanking players like Creed, and not the best communication there. Creed is able to get a lot of kills off the back of that. 3 in a row. How on earth does Creed get away with that? But now Wanted have actually started a punch to the front line here. Exclusive no longer have Creed, so there's an opportunity to get towards the hill. Caesar won't allow it, though. Caesar looking for more kills too for Caesar, trying to line players up through the smoke. And despite the fact they didn't have an advanced guard outside of the hard point, they're doing it from within the Lamborghini hill. Wanted cannot touch. Finally, they get a play through, and that's going to be Champy, but they're going to go down. This has been an insane hold from Exclusive, and one of those holds that, generally speaking, you don't see that often.
Yeah, really good job. And it's felt like they've just found the clutch kills when they've needed to, and the kill feed now starting to light up in their favor once again. 7 seconds to go. They're going to find a rotation coming on through where there are going to be plenty of members on the side of Wanted there. Darix will just about find the shots into Creed to make sure he doesn't get embarrassed. But if you're Fahim and co, you need to lock down the middle of the map. You need to stop anything coming through for the side of Exclusive, and you've done that. There you go. Rotation is in. Hill has popped. It's potential time on the board. Creed's the only one who can answer back momentarily. Annihilator pop from Spy. He's having a look around. Wanted do not want to give him this opportunity, and they're not going to. Gravity Vortex gun comes in, and as does the Annihilator. Cairo is there to shut this one down. Wanted with a fantastic hold over towards P3. Red MSL finds absolutely nothing. And Wanted have got a good opportunity to hold a lot of time here.
Yeah, you say that, then 3 kills start to come through. Exclusive investment now as well. Good pre-fire coming through with the Claw, but it is going to be a Claw that doesn't last that long. Fortunately enough, the rest of the Exclusive roster are here to pick up exactly where he left off, and now looking for the back 25 seconds. Is the spawn read going to be good against these Wanted players as the spawns continue to flip back and forth? Spy, one of the best players in Hardpoint, back in that series between Exclusive and 117 not found, is now starting to turn up once again here on the new time, looking for these kills against Etsy. He's going to find a double for Kim, and crucially as well for Exclusive, they're winning those gunfights by the scrap, but they're also winning the gunfights by New as well. It's a tentative lead right now as Neil pushes himself out of New, looking for these gunfights, but it is a huge lead as Exclusive now looking for the New kill.
But realistically speaking, there for me, Wanted don't do too badly. It may now be in a bit of a sticky spot as Spy will bring in the Predator missile. There's 2 more down. Equalizes out as well. This is just getting more and more dangerous as the setup top office actually from Neo. That is really setting them apart. He's just continuing to slay it out. He's found maybe 5 or 6 without answer. Look at the kill feed over and over again for Exclusive. 30 seconds to play for. I was about to give Wanted some credit for P3, but Exclusive might just shut it down immediately. Neil has not died in about 3 years. My God, eventually gets taken down, but Exclusive, is the damage already done?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what Neil went on a streak there, but it was pretty long. I think he actually just got the EMP in the back pocket. Neil's actually going to double up with the Predator missile as well. So not only is Exclusive finding these streaks, they're finding these operators, but they're finding value with every single one too. And Wanted are now really starting to feel the full force of a, well, on-point Exclusive team. As we go into the second set, I asked the question at the beginning of this game, Ton, are we going to see that Exclusive that dilly-dallies about and takes things a little bit more relaxed? Are we going to see the full force Exclusive that dominated 117 not found on this very map mode combination? It feels like it's the latter.
Fantastic first rotation from them. It's going to be about 100-point difference. I think if you wanted, well, I was about to say, can you take any positives from that first rotation? 3 was really solid. There was a couple of moments where you nearly found the break over towards 2. Just a couple of kills here and there. We could have found a bit of a difference between this now 100-point lead for the side of Exclusive. Starting to find the kills in the middle of the map as well, and every single time you think Wanted may have just found an inroad, it just all gets shut down. The gunning is very much there. Neil with 25 to his name, make it 26. He's just not missing bullets. Nobody on the point right now. 15 seconds to go, just a contestation. But P2 rotation starting to come in now. Wanted. A full 60 gets you back into this game, but how easy that is to do against Exclusive, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, and you're already starting this rotation as well, and we saw what happened last time around on this very hard point right time where Exclusive were able to get more time than generally speaking you expect a team to get, and they've already got that advanced guard forward. Once again, this time it's going to be Creed, who Creed is finding value, already finding a couple of kills, but as Creed goes down, perhaps the Sparrow from Etsy can do something, takes the player off the heady, that's Caesar off the Lamborghini. Is this the opening that Wanted require? Also now War Machine in the play for Fahim, who finds a double. Darix is going to find number 3. Wanted, they're broken through the front.
Annihilator from Spy. What can he do to try and find and break through for his team here? 70 seconds and rising now for Wanted. The next 30 are massive for them. They can find the majority here, though, if they keep getting these kills. Cesar's the only one who can answer back. It's the first wave held. Want to do a really good job. 25 seconds to play it for here. The temptation for Exclusive will be P3. But are they going to have one more stab at it? Neil will find a kill, as will Spy. Now here they go. Can they try and find a way through? Champion, Cairo combining together. Etsy will find another. And they're just about holding on. 2 different angles that Exclusive attack from. And Etsy's looking each and every single way and holding it down. They'll get the scrap time. They'll get nearly every single second at Garage. And the rotation is in over towards P3. This is much better from Wanted.
This is exactly what you require if you're Wanted. I always want to say what you want if you're Wanted, but it's just something you can't really say with this roster. But as we said, looking to make their way back in. Fences, hard point where they got broken last time around. Will the same thing happen once again? Because Exclusive are starting to mount that offense around the backline here. They want to flip the spawns out. Etsy with a perfect read though inside. Tin is able to find a couple of kills. Via will not be the next one on the platter. Spy now is starting to pick up another kill as well for Exclusive. The kills are here for Exclusive. Fear following up with another one. Creed now going to bring out the equalizers too, but Wanted have an appropriate response. They are good. Caesar, the only one left to deal with, as Exclusive are now starting to take away some of this time. It is more competitive than Wanted would have required, but still, it is still going to be their kill for the moment.
Just about in control, but the kill feed a little bit back and forth between these two teams. Via, can he hold it down? Not quite. Etsy will be there to pick up the pieces. 10 seconds to play for. It's part of the rotation, but this is where Exclusive really punished Wanted last time out. They still have themselves a healthy lead, but it has been cut in half. Vera and Co starting to find the gunfights, but Champion, can he find here over towards this next hill? It's looking like Wanted will find the kills that were needed. But now we're thinking about the operators that are going to come into play here. Whilst the hill is going to pop, Wanted are going to be in control. For how long is the actual question? Via can only find 1. The shots in the Darix were not quite clean, but Cesar's where can find 2 to break it open. And that's Exclusive now in control of P4.
Operators for Wanted though. Etsy with the Sparrow, it was crucial to the break towards P2. Can it be crucial towards the rock break as well? Well, it's going to run out here. They're going to have to get it done with the weaponry. Cairo is going to find some value, but it is only Cairo that does. The Spyro is going to double up. Fahim from the jump up, also going to get shut down. And Exclusive now starting to earn some more time, opening up this game in their favor once more. Darix towards the hill, though, the subs for Wanted. Is it good enough? Creed for a couple of kills. Veer on the other side will find some value with the War Machine, but that jump up is the ever problem for Exclusive. Cairo is going to marginally damage the hardpoint before falling, and now it's Caesar here for exclusive as well with the Sparrow. Wants to really pressure the issue. Wanted are forced or spawn all the way out on the other side of the map. Exclusive, they get the dominant hold on that kill that they wanted, and this lead in this game ton that exclusive built up about 60 to 70 points over Wanted hasn't really been damaged all that much.
Not too much, but that's what Wanted needed. They needed to just not let themselves bleed. They have caught up somewhat. You need to keep them off P1 and have another good rotation like you did at P2. It was around 40 or 50 seconds they managed to hold last time out. But the problem is, it's getting exclusive off P1. Right now, it is proving to be a little bit more difficult. Cairo will find a couple of good gunfights, but a lot of gunfights go the way of exclusive. That's a minimum of 4 dead. 35 seconds to play though here. It's valuable time at this moment in the game. Exclusive is breaking 220. 30 seconds to go. They could have just about won it there, but Wanted will get themselves inside the point and slow the bleeding down. Now from here, exclusive cannot win it at P1. You have to concentrate on P2.
And they don't have the rotation. Wanted, there's a path back in towards this game, but they have to hold the rotation. You have to win some of these opening gunfights. Spy by the scrap, looking to try and win some gunfights to take this time away from Wanted. And Veer's going to do exactly that. At this point in the game, with exclusives as close to 250 points as they are, 5 seconds like that could well be the difference between Wanted winning and losing this game later on. But here comes the Gravity Vortex gun. It was the weapon for Champy that gave them the Summit Hardpoint win in their series versus Animus. Is it now going to be the weapon? Maybe it's going to be the Annihilator from Spy. Spy only finds one, but Wanted, are they watching all their entry points?
Couple of different angles you got to watch. You have to hold it down as well as you did last time out, but the numbers are thinning. Champion Darax will just about turn that one around, but Neon says, will be there to pick up the pieces. Yeah, the spawns are going to come in over towards the back side. Via will find one at the front in the pincher setup. It's got to be heroic from Wanted. They can't hold it down. The spawn out, big gunfight for Fahim to win, but into the equalizer blender you go. Fahim is there to answer back with the War Machine, but is it too little, too late once again for Wanted? A valiant effort in the second rotation, but exclusive will just send them into map number 2 with a lead in their favor. Exclusive hold it down. They will get the win. Wanted. The comeback was valiant, but not valiant enough.
It really felt like towards the end when Wanted had that rotation towards P2. Perhaps this is going to be the moment they're able to come back against exclusive. Perhaps this is going to be the moment where they make things competitive. And unfortunately, I think just as they get broken there, they get overwhelmed inside. The spawns flip against them. Again, it's just that leader's advantage that you see a team have, you see exclusive have. They use it to their advantage, man. It really did just feel like that was the moment where Wanted lost the game. But I guess, I mean, look, go back towards the start of the game as well. And that was probably a bigger issue as well for Wanted. And arguably at the end of the first set, I think we were sat at like a 90-point advantage or something silly like that for exclusive. That I think was very, very damaging to Wanted. It took them a while to get back in the game.
Yeah, you find yourself that far behind than exclusive. I mean, we've talked about it so many times, right? The team who have got that 100-point around circa lead, they can just concentrate so much on just etching away at scrap time. Those final 10 seconds on hills when you're already that far behind, it makes such a massive difference, doesn't it? You need every single second if you want it when you're that far behind, and that ain't easy to do. Exclusive in the end will walk away with a comfortable one, but Wanted did start to warm into the game, but far too little, far too late. Neil, ridiculous performance from here, 42 and 31. I think he found 30 of those kills in top offers.
Yeah, and this is a bit of a regular look from exclusive as well. It's something we didn't get a chance to talk about from them before the game began, and it's that they do, generally speaking, share the objective quite a fair bit. 4 players, almost 1 minute or more, with Veer the bottom of that lot at 51 seconds. Neil is undoubtedly the SMG Slayer for the roster of just 16 seconds, but everybody else, I mean, almost 60 seconds or well over 60 seconds inside the hardpoint and slaying out. Exclusive are a roster that really share the wealth when it comes to that hardpoint time in hardpoint, and it's a reason why they're so damn good at the mode. It's a reason why, again, they had a plus 100-point differential going into this series, and I mean, quick maths, that will probably go down ever so slightly now, because obviously that was over 100 points there, but still, dominant, very dominant team in hardpoint, and that's exactly why. So great hardpoint performance coming out from exclusive. We go into search and destroy next, and this one I think is going to be interesting because we go back to the exclusive versus 117 not found series. And exclusive, this is when I was talking about, this is not the exclusive roster that we kind of have come to expect, right? Because they were making a lot of errors. Given the way they played the hardpoint, I don't know if they'll fix them.
Yeah, look, I think realistically, Exclusive are still going to be favorites throughout every single map. Yeah, I think for me, you look at the caliber of team that they are. Wanted will lose that map number 1. We talked about how important it can be. I think they will maybe be a little despondent after that one, especially in the fashion that happened. They did start to bring it back though, so maybe they can take some momentum from what was a really good second rotation out of them. I think they actually, in that second rotation, yeah, they cut that gap from around 90 to 100 to about 60 or 70. So, I mean, look, it was still quite hard to find a way back into it, but are they going to be able to take any credit from that one? Are they going to be able to take some positivity into map number 2? I believe it's Express Brody going to be coming up next. So, I mean, it depends what game they want to play. Do you want to just match up over towards B and send it every single round? Because if they do, I feel like Exclusive win that one 9 times out of 10. If you try and play it maybe a little bit slower, play it to your favor, can you find something here? Wanted. Exclusive will be happy to play the game at B though. You know that for a fact.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me as we get into the Search and Destroy. You go back to that Wanted versus Animus victory for the former of those two teams on this very map mode combination, and the vast majority of the reason that they won was the fact that they won the 50-50s over by B, and we're going to see the exact same thing right out of the gates here. It's Caesar opening things up with the first blood. Spy already got himself on towards the site as well. Etsy the only one to find any value in the flurry of engagement for Wanted, and we talk about Animus losing the 50-50s to Wanted in that prior Express Search and Destroy back last week. Well, Exclusive win this one.
Well, that's 100% record so far, but let's see if they can continue to do that. Yeah, well, you know, it's almost as quick as yours determining their hardpoint average when it went down, but here we are. That's the second time of asking. We'll find the shot onto Neil, who just maybe lingered far too long at the 2-for-2, making a 3-for-2 trade in favor of Exclusive, making a 3-for-3. Cesar will find one more, and all of a sudden, Etsy, he was the one that opened things up, and he may well be the one to end it. We'll need to find 2 here. Van Cesar know exactly where he is. The shots are in. He's dead. 2-0 to Exclusive. Very well worked. I think Via finds a few. Etsy did a good job of finding Neil, but that's pretty much all he found.
You know, there are rounds in Search and Destroy where you have a lot of analysis to give up. You know, you've got a lot to talk about. That wasn't one of them. Just a 50-50 right off B once again.
Why are we still doing it?
And here we go again. Exclusive. First one's on towards the site. A little bit of a change of strategy, though. Darrick's through the middle of the map will actually pick Spy up, and he hasn't fallen just yet. Darrick's finding more value here, and that little change in play from Wanted does give them momentary control over the site, but Caesar and Neil just immediately snatch it back away from them. Darrick's has to do it all here with the R9. Gonna find the first. Brings it down to a 1 versus 1, and I believe player number 1, Neil, did actually take some shots off, so Darrick should know where that player is, and they might be about to butt heads in the middle of the map.
Oh, he's ranting along the train tracks. Keep it as close as possible. That nade, where you initially had planned it to go, Darrick's was looking very, very good. Neil, did he see him? R9 in hand at this range is absolutely deadly. Goes for the challenge, but you're against Neil here. You have to be very careful. You got to hit your shots. You do at the 3rd time of asking. Oh, it got scary for a second. But Exclusive will not find a round in the 3rd 50-50. Just about goes on its way. That was scary.
Oh, boy. Darrick's the playmaker in that round. I actually think he might have just aced up. I'm not entirely sure, though. Still, the reason why they're able to get on towards B. This time around, though, a very different look as we go towards the offense once more. Wanted decide, hey, look, we've not really comfortable anymore with the 50-50s over by B. We're going to try and get A off the start. Utility, though, not going to do all that much. Instead, they're now going to have to feel comfortable to get the bomb down without it. Spy through the front of this site. Is he going to have to do anything? No, he will not. Good catch by Cairo. It's now 4 versus 4.
Can they defend with this bomb down? They're sitting very passively. But look at this fight that's coming on through. It's all going to live or die by Creed finding this gunfight or just finding the shotgun bullets of Cairo. But the gunfights on the other side of thing have went Exclusives away. Cairo now left in the one. This shot from Neil is crispy. And Cairo will fall almost immediately. Exclusive with a huge retake over towards A. 3-1 to the good and cruising here in the Search and Destroy.
Oh, man. And that's after they changed tact as well. That's after Wanted do something ingenious and tried to catch Exclusive off guard. The only round they've won so far, owing to Darrick's with the solo play. And once again, back towards B they go. Same kind of look where they were successful previously. Darrick's through the middle of the map. A bit of a change of strat as well from Spy, but it might just be too late because Darrick's has already found some value and is still alive. Now no longer the case. The Spy is going to take them out. Numbers in favor of Wanted regardless, though, after that flurry, and Neil is the only one removed from this situation. Sniper in hand. If anybody can do it, it's going to be Neil. He's going to get shut down. And again, what worked for Wanted before works once again here.
Is it going to be that same story again, though? Final round with exclusive on the defense. And yeah, here we go. Numbers are going to be dead even as 3 go down the ramps. The first shot from Neil is not quite there, and he's going to have to back up down, gets more aggressive. Chambi will find one. Neil round the corner. It's now just going to open things up for the rest of the team to come walking through the door. He hasn't hit a bullet since, but irrelevant of that, he was left on his own in a 1 versus 3. It was a technical 1v4 if he can pull it off. The shots are in, the round is in, and exclusive will find it. Great opening shot from Neil. The rest were not so good.
Yeah, Neil's had some moments this season. I'll say this much.
Allow him.
Neil has had some moments this season where his snipes have not been as good as we usually expect from him. But you know what? Considering some of the silly snipes he pulls off, as you said, you'll allow it. Regardless, we switch sides now. Exclusive going to be in the offense, and they're starting things off here by going straight towards A, opening first blood against Creed. Node over the top that should slow this one up. Darix is also going to find some value inside the train car itself. Fear out of the play. And for Exclusive, what they wanted was a fast and aggressive push over towards A. Now they're having to face Darix once again, who finds his 3rd in this round. Just 1 player left alive. And the only thing that really favors Neil here in this situation is they shouldn't expect him in that position.
It's a brilliant shot on the Etsy, but I mean, now how do you win it from here? The net is slowly going to close, and oh, well, how are you going to win it? Is maybe get some good timing? Nope. Cairo has to do absolutely nothing other than just run away, and that is a round that still would have been difficult for Neil in that position. But I've seen him hit them plenty of times. A couple of rounds in a row. It's like he finds the difficult shots just that little bit easier, but he's like wants to challenge himself with the ones that are a bit closer. Into the next one here though, Brody, and it's going to be a hit over towards the B side. Neil gets gunned again. Etsy hasn't quite had his number, but he's doing a really good job. Spy is going to find only one. Caesar is able to find another of his own as well. He finds another, makes it now 1 versus 2. I've been talking for 2 rounds, Brody. They're not lasting long.
Yeah, these rounds are fast and express, mate. Alpha Kicker, it's fine. Exclusive.
He's got him.
Looking for it. Shot's not as crispy as they would like. Edsy might be able to take him down here in the situation. Sniper as well. So you are definitely tempting fate. And, well, Caesar, I think, is actually given a lot of chances to win that 1 versus 2, but goes down regardless. And again, these 50-50s really can go either way. This time around, it's Wanted that come out on top.
What are Exclusive going to try and play here? They're the attacking team. They're the ones with the onus of making the move, and it's once again aggression over towards B. They won the first 2. They haven't won 1 in quite some time. Chambi is just going to be there on the right side of things for the trades and finds 2. Fahim will shut down Neil, and all of a sudden Caesar is left on his own again. He's dead to rights. Wanted just about getting the better of Exclusive on these 50-50s. It's working out in their favor, and Exclusive still want to play that game.
I do wonder whether Exclusive will go back to the strategy from round number 1, right, on their offense, where they did go towards A. Nope, never mind. Straight over towards B once again. First blood not going in their favor. Edsy's going to win it out this time around. Exclusive looking for a way to even the odds a little bit. Neil's going to lose his fight with Darix in the middle of the map too. Caesar's the only one to find some value. Creed will double up, but numbers not in favor. Now down to a 1v1. Creed against Etsy, and Veer's going to win it. Excuse me. Veer will find the last couple of kills. A much needed victory there for Exclusive on the offense.
Absolutely needed that 1 versus 2. 5-5 now. And again, they're still happy to just go with this flurry over towards B. We're going for it again. Got a few more numbers. You need the opening pick though if you're Neil. That has been the problem. First Blood's feeling like they're always going that way, but it's the grenade of Spy that will open things up. Etsy's there to answer back as he so often has been, and now the push is going to come through. Cairo should be down to rights. If he found anything there, he would have done well. But now it is, of course, a 4 versus 2, making a 4 versus 1. As Darix, is he going to have the opportunity to maybe make it a little bit more plausible? Not going to happen. The R9 not quite able to be found on Exclusive. Surely going to find themselves in the lead with 1 more round to play without overtime. They've got to be feeling confident.
Yeah, this was the round they needed. But I don't want to count Darix out just yet. He's had a phenomenal game of 12 kills to his name. Can he find anything here? No. Overwhelmed. Spy's the one to give him the finishing blow. And that's 2 rounds on the bounce now for Exclusive here on the offense. They're starting to feel confident with it. It's not a foregone conclusion that we will see overtime yet. But Wanted have to win this defensive round. And will it be a hit straight towards B, or will it be a bit of a split one? It is going to be B once again. Fahim's going to open things up with first blood.
Oh, it's huge for Wanted. Vieira's able to answer back though. 3 versus 3. Out of absolutely nothing. It was from the train tracks that he was able to just find a couple of angles. Fahim is there to answer the odds though. Now 3 versus 2 in favor of Wanted. Now all of a sudden Exclusive only got Neil left, who is actually hitting bullets now, and oh my goodness me. Could he do it yet? Fahim was the one who took a bullet in the previous, and it's going to be a potential 1 versus 3 on the cards from Neil. He knows exactly where he is though. Neil got to move forward. Oh, and the angle was potentially there. Cairo will shut him down. And just about Wanted limp over the line and just into overtime.
Oh, mate. Oh, mate. That honestly, I had visions that was going to go Neil's way. He hits those first couple of shots. Oh, boy. Neil is definitely capable of that, regardless. Overtime we go. A very different look from Wanted here on the offense. It's slow, I will say that much. Darius is able to draw Spy out for the first blood, and I think that was the entire idea behind this play to kick things off. You want to be slow, but Kairu immediately gets spotted out, and just as quickly as Neil looks at him, that's all it takes for Neil to pick up that gunfight.
I'll tell you what, Neil's got 11 kills to his name here. Imagine if he'd been shooting really straight. I mean, my God. He's having a good game, but we've seen a lot better from his standard. I think it's just because we hold him to such a high one. And now he's looking to try and find a little bit more. Oh, hi Fahim. Yeah, I'll keep that head down. How's he going to peek it? He's going to have a little bit of support here. The rest of Exclusive on the way over in a 4 versus 4. And the one at the front of the push is going to be Neil with the sniper. Backs on down as they now don't have the numbers. Fahim can find one. 4 versus 3 in favor of Wanted.
Numbers for Wanted, but they don't feel comfortable enough to get the bomb down over by A. I'm given a look at this X-ray. I think it's going to be a rotation towards B. Or at least a reevaluation at how they want to play this round, given they've got a few options now. Exclusive look unfazed. They're sticking with their positions, and Neil might be able to take out the player that was pushing over by B. Yeah, that's Darius down for the count. Wanted now. Might want to double down over by A because of 35 seconds left. The time that they did have has dwindled and dissipated right in front of them. They need to get this bomb down.
Gotta go for it. Fahim gets over. Halfway there. Bomb down. Says I was going to find Fahim though. Oh, he didn't get it down. He got him before it. And he's able to dip out. It looked as if the bomb was inevitably going down. And now time is just not on their side. Neil will find another. It's Etsy left now in a 1 versus 2. 7 seconds to go. And Exclusive are going to find this round out of absolutely nothing. Cesar keeps him off it and finds the final kill. 7 to 6. Massive round for Exclusive to find.
And to be honest, I think it's that attempted rotation, that faux rotation over towards B that feels, in my opinion, totally unnecessary. Wanted, they've got the numbers in that situation. You could have got the bomb down and you'd have been fine. Now you lost the round that might have won you this overtime. Exclusive got to get it done on the offense, though. And they do have a totally free site over by A. Neil, the only one removed from the entire play. So the question now for me becomes, how quickly do Exclusive realize that this is a free A plant?
Utility on its way over fast. Trophy's now down as well, so that might just give them a little bit of initiative to try and go for this bomb plan, but this has now given Wanted the time to get themselves over. Bomb over towards the site, gonna check it. And the more utility that's wasted for Wanted, the better for Exclusive, but you've just lost Via. Etsy has been fantastic with this sniper so far. Spy gonna have to try and find something there. Cairo will dip in, and both of them will say, yeah, no, I don't fancy that. Neil answers back, finds one on Derek's 4v4.
So he's been around A for a really long time. Neil picking up Cairo is crucial, again, to getting this bomb down. Still, even now, they're trying to bait this one out. Even now, they're trying to push Wanted all the way forward. Neil on the flank's going to get shut down, though. Good trade coming out from Spice. And now 3 versus 2. Bomb still not down.
They're in a bit of a precarious spot here, Exclusive. They may well have the numbers, but they've kind of been forced into a corner. And they have to do something within the next 35. It doesn't sound long, but it's long enough for them to make a decision. They feel like they maybe have the inroad over towards B locked down, but it's really going to be about the push that comes through from Champy. He's the one watching the site, and now the rotation starts to come through with 20 seconds to go. Fahim is watching over his teammate. Creed is still here and around the site. We'll try to make some noise. You've got to get over towards B. If you're Exclusive, the trains come through. It's just a superb time. And all of a sudden, it's just wide open to get this bomb down over towards B. Champy will find a massive gunfight onto Creed. The bomb is down, 2v2.
Did Fahim just see Caesar, though, that's the question for me. We didn't get to see it from his POV, but I got a feeling that he did. Big gunfight there. Caesar's going to get shut down. Yet there's the call to Champy. And now it's all down to Spy. A 1 versus 2 to close out this search and destroy and take a 2-0 series advantage here in challenge finals. Spot out for him. Just trying to play us out. Draw out time, doesn't know where he is, and now he's able to pick up the first kill on towards Fahim. Shots in towards Champy are good enough. Champy's too weak for the fight, and Spy will double up espionage at the highest level as Exclusive take the search and destroy.
Fantastic play, just baits one in, finds the first, and as soon as he dips out, the round is done. Oh man, the train was fully on time for Exclusive. They couldn't get over on the rotation. Oh, you hate to see it. But look, I think they kind of just, I want to say, wanted down throughout that round. Neil had a fantastic game in the end. We just started finding some ridiculous picks. And that's the difference maker. When things start to slow down is when Neil started to really fall into his element. Shots like this were 10 of the dozen. These ones were good as well. There's a couple of easy ones that he missed, but I think he maybe found 2 or 3 in that final round, and that is the difference maker. Exclusive find themselves 2 to the good up against Wanted yet. In the winner semi-finals of the challenge final season. Fantastic performance coming through from Exclusive here. They're locking it in and looking in a good position to advance through to that winners finals against Animus. And that was important for them to find as well. Now in a really commanding position in this game. 15 kills to Neil's name, and frankly, he could have had more.
Man, I do find Takeoff Search and Destroy so difficult to analyze at times, right? Because very often it does just come down to these teams are going to butt heads over by B, and it's going to come down to those little micro adjustments in the positioning around the B site as to who actually ends up winning those jousts. We saw that early on, I think, from Darix, who was able to effectively win Wanted a couple of rounds on the offense, but for the most part, it was Exclusive who were able to win those jousts. And as you say, Neil, a big reason for that. 15 and 12, Spy at 14 and 10. Also give a shout out to Caesar, who finishes with 12 kills in that search and destroy. Exclusive are on fire now. Search and destroy is much closer than the hard point. Yeah. Will the control be a better map for Wanted? I think is the way we should look at this, because they've now got a pull off a reverse sweep. Oh boy, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. But look, I think, you know, if you're going to go into any map that potentially you could steal away, the search and destroy was relatively close, so absolutely giving them that credit. It could be Arsenal control, though. We've already seen teams who, I mean, you have to focus on the right things on this map. We've seen too many teams maybe focus on really just concentrating on the spawn trap that can come through. But we've seen teams maybe be overzealous with that, and it has punished them. So it's about that good balance. It is a map that can be won by absolutely anybody, which makes it entertaining to say the least. Exclusive now able to answer back with a kill over towards this B side, but a good inroad for a Wanted to kick things off.
And this is a stellar start from Wanted, and an unusual one at that as well. Generally speaking, you do see teams opting to go towards A off the rip. And no, Wanted to B, they go. Already first tick through. Now finally going to see a bit of aggression coming out from Exclusive here on the defense. Champy able to hold strong though. Champy's able to hold really strong. He finds a couple of kills. The help is also there. And all of a sudden here, Wanted have players on both of the points. There's one player from Exclusive that could disrupt this though, and it's Neil on the flank.
He has to make a choice. He may feel like B may already be gone. Well, he's come over to help his teammates out, and they have wiped them off B, or just about. Champy is still here. 3 kills already to his name. Needs to make it 4. Cannot. Spy will hold it down. And Exclusive will just about survive, but is the damage already done? 2 in at A and continuing to tick on up. You can see everybody from Exclusive is starting to camp themselves over towards this B side. A is going to be cut off and Wanted now. Is the damage already done? Kairu finds 2 to potentially open something up here, but Exclusive are reeling after a minute or so of this first round of control.
Yeah, you just need one tick over by B now. You've got a 10 life advantage if you're a Wanted, and you can start to get players in the position for the spawn trap. It does start to feel like the round at this point, doesn't it? Fahim's going to find a couple of kills. Players on B. Somebody has to stop this one. Spy able to climb towards the point and find one frag. Anybody else? Spy actually managed to find another one. Creed is going to find number 3, and they are able to stop the capture by B. But again, that life advantage is pretty daunting at the moment. Wanted a 9 life differential over Exclusive. Just 2 minutes on the clock here. It's a lot of time.
What Exclusive have got to find is a clean wipe. Got enough map control that they can hold it from here. I don't know if it'll come down to time. Wanted to have plenty of it. And only need to find one good push. You need to find multiple different cleanouts if you're exclusive. Flank starting to come on through. Wanted, no, they have time. They can take their time. Darix may well be dead to rights, but Etsy's going to find a kill on the VA. Creed can find one back. A little bit more pressure, just trying to be soaked up here by exclusive. Not doing too bad of a job, but those lives are going to be an issue. Now have no more remaining. And Wanted can waltz under the point.
There's just a lot of paths to finishing this game off for Wanted now. You've got flanking players like Darix. Got players hitting the front as well. Darix, is he going to be red? Because I think Fear just did have a look at the flank. Darix now has to find something. Yep, there's the first kill. Darix might find more than something. Almost finds number 2, but it's going to be traded on out. But Darix does his job. Takes a player off the board. Towards the front, Neil has also fallen. So Wanted here, just facing 3 players now from exclusive. Creed is on a late flank to try and do something. All Spy needs to do is hold them off for long enough. That's not going to happen. And there goes Creed as well. A perfect read to finish off an offensive start to this control for Wanted.
I think it was just the opening break, right? They did so well with it. Kyra, 11 kills to his name. Over a third of them going over towards him. Fantastic work, and exclusive will find themselves behind for the first time in this control. What have they got on the attack? Can they find anything? Because that was very clean from Wanted. Big A hit coming in from both two teams on the defensive side. The Gravity Vortex gun is being pulled out, but all of a sudden Champy's left all on his own. Can find one. The zoning from the Gravity Vortex gun is going to work, but that's a big investment comes through for absolutely nothing. Exclusive invested a lot and gained a lot of it as well.
Yeah, this is something you wanted to see from exclusive. Going back to that matchup versus 117 not found, they arguably could have closed out that control that they ended up losing if they had used their operators correctly. So to see some at the start of this round from exclusive is exactly what we needed, but they need to follow up with actually some pressure, some control, and they haven't got all of their angles watched. And I could see it on the new map. Darix was ready to pounce, and he does exactly that with a couple of kills over towards A. Wanted have players now looking to deal with that spawn trap. They're able to take the couple of players out that were trying to challenge towards the middle of that, though. Caesar able to take down Darix. So exclusive still knocking at the door here towards A, especially as Neil picks up Champy, but still not quite decisive just yet.
I want to say a huge play was made there by Etsy. The equalizers were popped. Creed was heading straight towards the spawn, and he just reads it. He holds the angle for a little longer as he comes in off the respawn and shuts down what potentially could have been a massive disaster for Wanted. But now all of a sudden this round is turning on its head. Is Fahim and Darix doing so well to clear out the A side. Veer is there to maybe slow things down. Etsy can find one back, but Spy and Veer combining well. A is already gone. B push now starting to come on through, but I tell you what, Etsy, he's been having a good game, hasn't he? He really has been the player for me that has somewhat been leading the way for Wanted in these last 2 maps. They haven't been able to convert it, but I mean, he's trying his hardest. 15 versus 15, a minute and 15 seconds to try and get a push over towards B here for the side of exclusive.
Exclusive. Again, got a couple of options here. You've got Veer sat in the middle of the map. You've got players pushing the front as well. Ace has to be timed correctly if that is the play. Also keep an eye on player number 3, Darix once again, who's been constant nuisance for exclusive here, flanking, but Spy through the front, has the Annihilator in hand, has already dealt with the threats through that side of the map, and is finding more value as well. Spy for 3. Kairu next up on the chopping block. Yes, he is for number 4. Exclusive with Spy single-handedly getting it done, and now on B.
You just cannot push those stairs now. You can now because the Annihilator's gone, but everything else started coming through. Neil will just hold this down now. This should be the round. The Claw just further cementing their presence and dominance, and Neil just snapping left and right. The Claw doing its job, and exclusive doing theirs as well. One apiece now between these 2 teams after 2. Both attacking rounds going their way. Kyra really did slow down in that round. Exclusive, it just felt like they found the kills at the right moments. You think about the pusher that came in over towards A and those final moments over towards B. Huge players coming in from Spy, and that is the difference maker. Neil was there to finish the job, but now for the side of Wanted, you're going to invest, as are the side of exclusive. Scissor can clean out 2. One of them was Etsy, who already had the Sparrow out. And now for your side of Wanted, you're forced back into your spawn. Exclusive have done absolutely everything right to start this round.
Yeah, this is huge. Again, going back towards that 117 versus exclusive control. This is more of what you wanted to see right here, right now. Exclusive investing everything to win the opening duels and set themselves up for a spawn trap against Wanted. But Wanted, unfortunately, have a little bit more bite than I think Exclusive imagined. They're able to win a few fights here that might well get them out. And so all of that utilization might be for naught as Fahim takes down Fear. Now an opening has presented itself for Wanted. It's important to know just how much Exclusive sent at Wanted at the start of this round. They have to get something for it. And as Neil finds two, they still look poised to do so.
But even though they do really well at breaking out of that potential spawn trap, the time is wasted. You have to check your corners. You have to take your time. And now, time is the enemy. 20 seconds to go. You need to find a touch on something. Spy's going to shut it down over towards A. That could potentially be the round. Cesar there is just going to try and further put the pain down. Champy's going to find a way through. Spy's left all on his own momentarily. Are they going to expect him in the corner? The answer is no for Darix. Champy spins around, needs to find something. Have Wanted got time? Have they got time to get themselves in? Fahim is going to be able to find one, but Exclusive with the cleanest of defenses will find themselves 2-1 up in the control. 2-0 up in the series. And in the ascendancy now.
That is a huge round from Exclusive, and that is the decisive play that has made Exclusive one of the deadliest teams in European Call of Duty Mobile over the last couple of SPS seasons. Those kind of plays that really do split them from the rest of the field. And now they want to do it again at the start of this one. They have limited utility, it is worth saying. Wanted have already brought out the War Machine to kick things off, but Exclusive have chosen to go straight towards B. Fahim now sending the War Machine pellets out across the way. Will find a couple of kills. It doesn't entirely clean house. There's still one player over here, but it's Neil, and that's probably the worst possible player. Finally, Champy's going to take them down, but it's a good effort from Exclusive at the start, stopped by that War Machine from Fahim.
Two operators on either side right now. Are they going to be the difference makers for both these two teams? This could be a big gunfight, though. Finder Fahim has just done so well against Creed there. Kairu, Annihilator is out, and that will shut down any advances down this B-side, or you at least like to think it. Neil is ready and waiting to potentially find something. Grenades over the top, and Cesar will find him, so Kairu finds very, very little. With that Annihilator, is that going to maybe just put some wind in the sails of Exclusive now, who can find a couple of gunfights? It's a big one for Etsy to find. 4 different operators available for Exclusive here. If they find the opportunity, they may well pull the trigger.
Yeah, Neil finding kills. Neil almost finds number 3 there. Caesar's shot's not the best, but also notices another play coming up through the cut. Yep, that call made by Neil, and Caesar's going to get it done. The capitalization from Exclusive at the moment is insane, and now they're going to follow up on it with more utilization as well. Caesar this time with a Sparrow is going to get a posthumous kill against Fahim, but now Creed with the equalizers, Spy with the Annihilator 2. Exclusive are sending everything at this that they've got. 2 ticks on A, 2 ticks approaching 3 on B. Creed is finding kills towards the cut as well. This one is already starting to look done.
Oh my goodness me. The efficiency so far with these operators has been so overwhelming for Wanted to try and deal with. A is gone, B's on its way as well. Wanted one more opportunity in this series. Cesar and V are starting to combine. Neil has already got the core out, and that just spells danger. Exclusive 3-0 Wanted. Impressive performance from them throughout the entire series. Every single close moment that came their way, they dealt with. Every other one was comfortable. Fantastic from Exclusive. They get the job done. Looked a lot better there, didn't they?
Yeah, I did say it, mate. It felt like Exclusive versus 117 were not the same Exclusive that we'd seen back in Season 4, as dominant and as scary as they were. And this was much them. And honestly, I think this control is probably the epitomization of exactly that, right? You talk about the operator usage, something that was, in my opinion, a problem back when they faced 117 not found on control. And granted, that was Raid, it was an Arsenal. But here we see back-to-back rounds, the round number 3 from Exclusive, where they start the round off by sending everything, the 2 streaks they've got, 3 operators at Wanted to ensure that they get map control and an early life dominance. And then in round number 3, as soon as they earn those operators on the offensive push, there is no hesitation whatsoever but to bring them out and really bring the hurt to Wanted. Brilliant play from Exclusive, and again, it's something we've talked about time and time again. Operators are key to defining a great COD Mobile team.
I mean, we were talking about it during the break, the potential of how this matchup could play out. And you even said yourself, Bertie, you feel like Exclusive didn't meet the potential we knew that they could have during the regular season of the challenge. And now I feel like that was the exclusive that we knew they could be. They looked decidedly stronger than Wanted, and Wanted's still not out of it. They'll just drop down to that lower bracket as well, but another 3-0 on that upper bracket. Exclusive moving forward, now having to face off against Animus. It looks like Exclusive's ready to bring it.
Yes, Exclusive are on fine form. Now, exactly what we wanted to see from them. This is exactly what we expect to see back in the challenge season. And it doesn't surprise me that much that maybe they'd have their foot off the gas a little bit in challenge season and they would full send it in challenge finals when required. But I will say, and this is something we're going to be discussing as we kind of hit the road to champs, as it were, if we're looking as Exclusive a potentially champs team, right, one of our European contenders at the event, we need that team to do well. We need to see Europe do well because, let's be honest, the last couple of European events, the last couple of international events, Europe has been kind of stinkers. So we want to see something better of Exclusive. They can't be relaxed at all. We need to see that Exclusive if they get to the stage.
I mean, we are definitely looking to see what a lot of the other regions can bring to the table this year when we look all the way forward towards champs. And so that's going to be an exciting kind of reassessment of the global field of competition when we get to that stage, and hopefully we get some really strong contenders out of all of the regions that we have been working on, so we've got some teams to root for when we get to that point. But that means with Exclusive moving on, it will be Animus versus Exclusive to close out our day here for the last match. And just for clarity, the team that wins this match in the upper bracket will solidify one of the top spots, which means they'll be going to champs. But that doesn't mean that they've won the challenge finals yet, okay? They'll be in the grand finals, but they won't be the best in the region just yet. We'll still have to get through our entire lower bracket run tomorrow to get that second team up there to compete against them and close out all of it. So right now, the one important thing is that we'll be determining one of our teams making their way through to champs in the fall. Before we get into that, though, we're going to give Exclusive a few minutes here to get themselves reset and ready to face off against Animus, which means it's time for another short break. So don't go anywhere. You're watching the Snapdragon Pro Series.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, DHL, and the United States Air Force.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Snapdragon Pro Series, where we are moments away from getting into our final matchup of today, which will also determine one of our teams making their way through to the grand finals, and by proxy, one of our teams making their way to champs from Europe. It's going to be a really exciting matchup. Both of these teams starting off the day in 3-0 fashion. So both of them at least going in with some strong mental, able to watch each other in their matchups, take a little bit last minute information into the consideration for when we get into those map picks and bans as well. I'm excited for it. This is going to be a good one. And actually, the way that it played out, this is the second place teams from both groups now here in this upper bracket. So pretty cool, Brody.
Yes, it is pretty cool. Honestly, I expected Exclusive to win, right? I'll say that much. I did genuinely expect Exclusive to come out and play better just by the fact that Exclusive should have played better when they played 117 Not Found. I didn't expect Animus to come out and beat 117 Not Found in the dominant fashion that they did. I think that, to me, is the real surprise, because there were a lot of question marks over that series. Didn't really know where to gauge those two teams. But to see it play out like this, and again, I think just kind of gives credence to the idea that coming into this week, I want to say this weekend, it's not a weekend, this week, we had no idea what the top four would look like comparatively to last season, where we definitely knew who the best teams were.
I know we'll continue kind of breaking this down a little bit, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe we also have our picks ready to go already. Getting right into it. I'm not mad about it. We'll pull those up here. Starting off with a Hackney Yard hardpoint here, Tun.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. But again, we're going to see Hacienda come through. I think for Animus, that's going to come through as their pick after what they just seen Exclusive did. Again, kind of goes back to the conversation that Brody was having previously. If we do get to see it, the questions have to be asked. But we are going to see, it's pretty, I want to say, standard apart from that Hackney Yard, which I think is going to be an interesting one to kick things off. And that is interesting to see. It is an exclusive pick. When Hacienda was open, they could have picked it, and then Animus picked it anyway. So I think this has worked out very, very nicely for Exclusive.
Yeah, I'd be happy with this one if I'm Exclusive. Not even just because of the Hacienda. If I'm seeing Hackney Yard, if I'm looking at the way that one's going to play out, I think these two teams had very different fortunes with Hackney Yard back in Challenge season, right? Where I think Exclusive very quickly identified what the most important rotations would take control of. Spoiler alert, guys, it's P2, it's the Tyres hardpoint. And unfortunately, I think Animus struggled with that in their matchups on Hackney Yard. So I think this one definitely favors Exclusive. If it didn't feel like this matchup would be in their favor anyway, to me, it now most certainly does.
Oh,
here we go. You missed the contrary.
No, go ahead. I see the wheels turning.
I feel like, yeah, I know it's very obvious when I'm thinking smoke starts coming up my ears. I think Animus, for me, though, were really impressive in their previous game, have continued to get better. They have learned their lesson of what wanted and what happened there. I still think they're going to get a really good game here. I'm going to put my eggs in the Animus basket as well. I'm going to say I think Animus is going to win the series. I'm just going to be different more than anything.
I didn't even ask for predictions this time around. You guys just
do them
freely. That's wonderful. We might as well ask chat as well then what they think is going to be happening. This will, like I said, determine the first team that makes their way through to grand finals. So chat, let us know your thoughts on this matchup. Do you think Animus will be the first team to do so, or do you think it will be Exclusive? Reminder, neither one of these teams will be out when they lose. They'll just go down to that lower bracket and wait until tomorrow to continue on playing through. So still opportunities abound for both these teams, but this is going to be a great way to close out the day. Match number 3 should be ready to go, so let's get into it.
All right, thanks, Lauren. Yep, final match of the day here, Animus versus Exclusive. One of these two teams is about to make it to champs to represent Europe, a region that's, let's be honest, has been flagging over the last few international events. We need to see these guys playing on top form here to give Europe a good shot at that event. And just like the last series between these two teams, what I said stands. Hardpoint still feels like the most important mode in this best of 5 for Exclusive. They are absolutely the #1 hardpoint team in Europe. Animus have got to try and take this game away.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how Hackney Yard's going to kind of play out between these two as well. But for me, you look at their previous 2 games that we've just seen. Both happen in very similar fashions. Comfortable on map number 1, almost dominant from Exclusive, but in the end, still a very comfortable victory. Super close search and destroy. So I think we'll probably get something very, very similar, and both of them winning their controls very, very close, very, very comfortably, I should say. So I look, it's set up very, very nicely. I still think that we should give credit credit towards Animus here. I'm curious what we're going to get from them. I was super impressed with how they played in their very first game, and I'd argue up against stronger opposition than what Wanted were. So let's see how things do go down between these two. But I'm high on Animus right now, and I'm curious to see if they can bring it to the table up against Exclusive. Are they as warmed up? Do they, feel as if they had as much of a challenge as it would have been against 117 Not Found, who are a high caliber of team? I think, when we look at that first losers game, 117 Not Found will be my favorites for that one. I'm just trying to do it by sort of proxy here of how things I think are going to work out, and just to maybe just not everybody go for Exclusive to go on to win. But let's see. Look, I think it's hard to go away from them as obviously the number 2 team from last season to a certain degree, but now the best team here because of all the things that transpired. They're still the favorites, but Animus are going to shove them close, I think.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, right? Because I don't want to count Animus out in this series. I think I'd be a fool to do that, just given how good Animus looked against 117 Not Found. So, to a certain extent, you're right. I'll give you that, mate. But I will say that there is kind of another thing that does give Animus a little bit of credence potentially winning this series, and that's the fact that Shark is actually playing on the lineup, of course, a former Exclusive player. He's going up against his entire former lineup of teammates. Does that make things interesting? Does it add a little bit of like, look, this is my new team. If I'm Shark, I've got to win. They've got to beat my former teammates.
I mean, that's always extra incentive, isn't it? Like, you always want to be going up against former teammates and finding the win there. So look, if you needed any more motivation to find the win in this one, then okay, that is there. But this is for a spot at champs. Both teams who make it to the grand final will of course be going to Atlanta, and that's going to be super interesting to see who does manage to secure that first spot, because look, candidly, all these teams want to go on to win the entire thing when we come down to playoffs. Of course, that is the goal. But I think if you were to say to any of them, what would you rather guarantee? Like, you're looking for that champ spot. You absolutely want to get there. You want to represent your region on the international stage. You want to represent yourself on that international stage. So super important for teams to try and get to that. And for a win here for either one of these two teams, you are securing that plane ticket. But to Hackney Yard we go. Exclusive the favorites. Animus coming in as a slight underdog, but who knows how this game will transpire. Hackney Yard, a nice one to kick things off.
All right, we love Hackney Yard. And a reminder, folks, as we get in towards this hardpoint map, it is that rotation to P2 that is very often this season in COD Mobile separated the best from the rest. If you can get full 60 on that hill, and spoiler alert, it's pretty easy to do if you can hold the spawns properly, it's going to be interesting to see who takes control of that. So keep an eye on that rotation right now. It is going to be Animus spawning on that side of the map where Exclusive going to be in for the moment. Can they withhold against the Animus roster? Answer seems like no, as the subs are going huge. Shark for a couple of kills. Animus now looking pretty strong for start.
Fantastic start from Animus. And they're holding the right side of the spawns as well. Here come the rest of Exclusive, though, trying to get a hold of something over towards P1, but Animus with 25 seconds to go, holding the right places. Shark up against his former teammates, just want to do everything he possibly can. Nox is there to find one, but Creed comes around on the flank, and now a little bit of pressure going to start coming on through. Really, really good flank coming through from Gadilla, though. Just about holding on if you're Animus. Good time in the point as well. 10 seconds to go. That's going to be soaked up by Exclusive. Over towards P2 we go. Animus, can you hold it down?
And if now no need to, as I said, they've got a 10-point advantage now as we go into the second hill. This is the hard point where for them, they want to hold it for a full 60. They've just got to make sure they've got players in all those power positions. And the player by Useless, I believe, did just get shut down. So Neil has basically free reign to go in from behind. Exclusive, though, are actually falling around the front. Nox will pick up a couple of kills. But as I said, the fact that Neil's able to get in behind is going to give those Exclusive players some closer spawns here. It's going to force Animus to spawn out.
Sniper coming out from Neil as well. Just trying to maybe pick from the outside. He's going to find a second. Spy will find another. So the damage has been done. 35 seconds to play for here. If you can get yourself inside for Exclusive, it's worthwhile. Close spawn's not going to quite come through this time round, though. And it does look like Animus are going to hold on. 25 seconds to play for here. And you are hightailing it if you're Exclusive. 3 can find 2 and maybe shut down this final 20. Not going to happen. Going to have to be about the rotation. Fantastic job from Animus, though, to hold that one down. Exclusive, I mean, they rarely got close.
Yeah, that was the big hard point that Animus wanted, and I have to say they're very lucky that they do not end up losing control of P2, given the fact that Exclusive did manage to get a couple of players through early on. So big hard point for Animus. As I said before, that is a hard point, that is a hill that can separate a lot of teams here on Hackney Yard hard point, and it's given Animus an early lead. Now Exclusive should be the first team to touch over by New, but already you're starting to see Animus send players towards that new hard point. Already you're starting to see Animus take players out of the kill for Exclusive. If Animus get control of this, we now see Kefilla with the Annihilator. This could be a real dangerous situation for Exclusive, but Spy's having absolutely none of it.
2 kills coming on through for Spy. One of them was on the Annihilator player, Kefilla, who gets taken down. So Exclusive with an opportunity here to find a decent chunk of time. I think for them, it's about just trying not to panic. After that P2, you didn't have the rotation. You never had that rotation. You lose out. You don't get anything back. You can do it to them on the second rotation of hills when we do get there. Good job from them, though. They're able to soak up a decent amount of times. Animus do have themselves a good lead. But plenty of Call G still to be played. Soaking up that final 10. It's about the rotation over towards the next. It feels like Animus are the first ones there, and they're finding the kills. It's very much the right time. Inside the point, rotation is in. Animus continue to stack that lead.
And that was a big hard point again for Exclusive, and they weren't able to take all the time that they would like. Now we move over towards the rotation, and Animus have got utility. So do Exclusive though, so expect a lot of it to come out towards this hard point. Neil up top has already found some serious value with the Claw. Is going to find even more as he picks up 3 kills. That's going to give Exclusive some early control over this hill. Neil continues on his spree as well. So big kills coming out from Exclusive early on this hard point. Rasmo over the top, perhaps he can do something here in this situation. Don't do anything, I think, too individual here if I'm Animus. If I'm Rasmo in this situation, just wait for your teammates to come off the spawn because you're facing down a lot from Exclusive.
Oh, Saves is invested here. War Machine is out, close quarters. Absolute nightmare fuel. If you're on the Exclusive side, 70 points was just about reached by Animus, by the side of Exclusive, sorry, before Animus did find a break on through. Cesar is now going to be here to try and shut this down. Good shots coming through, but eventually Animus will clean up. Rotation coming in. Animus first one's there. Once again, Animus feel, or at least feels like they are the first ones on these rotations quite often. Exclusive fallen by the wayside ever so slightly, and bearing in mind, okay, Hacienda is going to be the second hard point if we do get there. This is Exclusive pick right now. And Animus are, I don't want to say they're quite schooling them on it, but they seem to have the impotence to try and find these moments. Via, though, is going to invest this War Machine to try and find a breakthrough. Creed is there alongside of him. Via finds another one through the smoke. The break will potentially come through. Unless Animus can hold this down, it's looking like Exclusive are going to find that brick.
Maybe he's still got to deal with the players inside. Spy is going to be the player that does exactly that with a couple of kills. Caesar, the bottom of the hard point as well, is just L-triggering or whatever the COD Mobile equivalent is towards the left side of the hill with the Sparrow. We'll find a couple, keeping Animus at bay. These are big kills to be making around the kill. Kefilla almost finds 3 with a drop shot. Veer will deny. Is that enough perhaps to get Animus towards the hard point? No, as Veer and Spy keep them at bay. So Exclusive now should be able to get the back 20 seconds here, and they will be very grateful for that. But we talk about right now the difference between these two teams. You do have to feel it was that full 60 hold on P2 for Animus. It'll make it all the more important to make sure you rotate properly for Exclusive here in the next set.
It makes it such a hard proposition to try and sort of put yourself in the shoes of either one of these two teams. It's a 40-point lead, or a 30-point lead, I should say. And all of a sudden, though, it's one good rotation over towards P2. You can already see that he's trying to make it work. It's going to be Via who's trying to find a moment to get his team through. Annihilator has been invested by Cathella, though. He spots the danger out, can find one on the Caesar. Still have those spawns, but there you go. It's going to flip over. Neil is going to be there. He's going to try and hold it down. The kill starting to come through for Exclusive over towards P1. Potential disaster. Says will find one back. Will get the spawns for his team. I'm just casting off the minimap, and right now it looks good for Exclusive. They're going to hold it down. Still a spawn back there, though. It's actually going to be Rasmo who finds a gunfight. They are scrapping over these P2 spawns, and for good reason.
Yeah, you can see Animus, they're definitely pushing down that lower side of the minimap. They know how important it is, not just to try and get players over there, but to ensure that Exclusive do not get players around users, around that burnt out car. Animus need to be careful about how aggressive they are with this, because player number 4, Narcs, cannot go down. That is exactly what happens. Exclusive winning the gunfights, not just over by New, but also in scrap as well. Animus expended so many resources to take those spawns away from Exclusive. They actually didn't get any time at all, really, off the back of P1. A huge moment in this game. Exclusive down by 7 points. They have P2.
Exclusive get absolutely everything from that. A good amount of time over towards P1 and P2 setup. If it's as good as what Animus's was, then all of a sudden they're breaking 200 in the blink of an eye. Rasmo can find 2 on the cross, and that will start to now give them a little bit of essence to where they can find a push through. The presence is there. Can they find the push? Neil can find 1 and 2. Looking for the third on his left. Not quite going to be there, but the spawn up going to be coming through here from the side of Exclusive. It's going to be out, actually, as Animus push the bottom side of the map. It's going to get them away. You need to hold this down if you're Creed, and just what you need in this moment, the equalizer. 1 and 2 will follow his way. Needed to find those kills, but Animus are here in numbers. 20 seconds to play for.
Still looking for the kills here. 20 seconds, big amount of time. Creed will continue to go off and finally does get shut down now as Narks and Rasmo able to find their way through. Caesar now fighting for the scrap time here. Pre-fire against the Phantom. Nobody is there. So Exclusive should be able to get that scrap time here short of something crazy, and all of a sudden Kafilla and Rasmo combine for 3, and they will get that time. But I was going to say, Ton, I mean, Animus, the only reason they're able to get in towards that hard point there is because Exclusive do not put players back in the power positions which they lost. Exclusive, good hard point for them, but Animus are actually able to take about 15 seconds. That might be crucial later on in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Animus getting those 15 seconds of Exclusive get them. It's a big gap. Exclusive now still find themselves in the lead. Gathilla will find 2 in and around the crate, make it 3. Looking for another. He gets cut down, but the rest of the team coming in to pick up the pieces. And we'll find a push over towards the barrels. And now all of a sudden just starting to soak up some easy time. 30 seconds to go here on this hill, and Animus with this time would just about find themselves in a lead, but still a lot to play for. Creed is going to get himself in time, just trying to hold it down. The rest of the team nowhere to be seen. Investment here from Says. You can already see the War Machine ringing on through the rest of the map. Hasn't been able to find anything at all with it. Caesar cuts him down, and everybody else on Animus follows. 15 seconds to play for here. Animus will eventually get themselves in, but it's about this rotation over towards next. Exclusive in a good position. Animus need to find a way back into this game.
Exclusive up by about 30 points. That can make all the difference as we approach the apex of this game. Animus, 3 operators on site. One of them's about to come out here on this attempted break. Neil and Caesar, though, shutting them down. Nox able to find some value here. Gafilla, can they find anything with the Annihilator as the former of those players has gone down, trying to find their way through. Gafilla on the other side is finding a couple of kills here. Animus have done what they needed to, but Gafilla's job is far from over. Gafilla still going as well with this Annihilator. Gafilla for 4, and Rasmo and Shark are also there. Animus, they're in.
Really good job coming through from Gathilla. Gets shut down though. All the good work is going to be undone. 35 seconds to play for here. Gathilla still all on his own. Neil will be able to find the kill. An Exclusive will find a break back through. We take a moment as both these two teams well poised in this game. Predator missile coming in from Gathilla, but everything else being thrown at them. Caesar will find 2 there with the Sparrow. 20 seconds to play for. Neither team can win it. Exclusive with a 20-point lead. It's all about this rotation.
Could be everything. Still fighting over the scrap time here. Animus and Exclusive. Animus going to get the better of Exclusive in that situation. But as you said, keep an eye on that rotation towards Noob, because it is blue arrows on the minimap that do currently have control. Big gunfights going down though. Shark going to win here. As it says, going to win here. Spy towards the top. Not actually going to find much value whatsoever for the Annihilator. And all of a sudden, there's an opportunity for Animus, but Fear might have just shut it all down with those 3 kills. Shark also going to fall. Exclusive in for the moment, just 15 seconds away.
Oh, Caesar just got an incredible spawn behind one player who was setting themselves up. Exclusive now 10 away. The equalizers are out as well, and Creed is just going to press the forward button and hold down the trigger. Shark can find one back, but Exclusive in the point. 4 seconds to go. Animus are finding the kills, but they got to find their feet very quickly. Exclusive will close it out in map number 1. 250 to 214. Back and forth all the way. Exclusive had the time. Again, it's that moment of having that 200-point mark to find that second and get yourself so much closer. You can then have the game. You have the impetus to make whichever play you want to do. As soon as Animus could not win it, over towards P4, Exclusive were already at 5, and they held it down.
Yeah, it's just that leads advantage. I think it's especially helpful, right, as you enter the second set, as you enter the end of the game, right, when all of these hills here on Hackney Yard, so 50-50 besides the one. It's so rare to get the dominant control over a hard point outside of P2 here on Hackney Yard, and that was the story for basically the entirety of that hard point. But crucially, it was the story for Exclusive towards the back 3 hills, where that 30-point advantage they built off of the back of their P2 hold in the second set, just never quite able to close it were Animus. Looking at the scoreboards at the end of the game, same kind of story once again, where you see that sharing of the wealth between the hills. Creed in there the most, almost 2 minutes inside the time at 35 and 31. Via the Slayer for the roster, 40 kills to his name. Exclusive come out on top at the end of game number 1.
Sensational performance from Exclusive. They close it out. Yeah, Creed. 151 with the operator usage inside. Just been so good every single time. The great equalizer in Creed. Sensational work from Exclusive. Find themselves 1-0 up. Animus had their opportunities there, though, and I think, you know, we were talking about it halfway through in terms of their lead that they did have was all from P2. When they held that down, they put themselves in a good position. But other than that, you know, there wasn't a great deal to write home about. I mean, that's maybe unfair because the rest of the hardpoint, they did obviously pick up some decent time. But if they didn't get a hold of that, and again, it's these ifs, buts, and maybes, but if they didn't get a hold of that, what else were they doing? It felt like it was a crucial moment on that second P1 to P2, especially P1, where they were concentrating so hard on trying to get a hold of those spawns. They let Exclusive take the lead off P1. I'm pretty sure they were about 20 or 30 behind. Irrelevant of that, though, map number 1 is in the history books, and all of a sudden we are heading to Tunisia. Both these two teams so proficient on this map, whether it be attack or defense. This one should be a banger.
Should be. We'll see how this one goes. As you said, we've seen both of these two teams on Tunisia. We saw Animus very recently on this map mid combination. To overtime it went, but it was an overtime they won. Now in towards the offenses for Animus this time around. Can they get anything going? Utility and nades over the top. Won't actually connect for anything. I don't think any information even, because the trophy system on the point should have caught a couple of them. So there will be a moment of calm. The only thing I would say right now, and this is something you point out for the defense here, is Exclusive have players pushed very far out. Look at number 1. Look how far pushed up Neil is for any potential flanking play towards B.
Not something you don't expect, especially they'll be thinking to themselves, well, Neil will be way back there with a sniper in hand, as he so often is. But we'll bear that in mind if they do find themselves over towards that side. Says out from the top of the winery is going to find a kill here on the Veer as well. Just presume that Cesar is there. Finds the shot, finds the site. Animus now getting the bomb down over towards A. Big task ahead for Neil and Creed if they want to win this one.
That's the downside of having Neil so far removed from this situation. Creed has a lot more to do. He's going to find the first. Is there going to be an ego chal coming out? Perhaps from Shark. I don't think so. Neil's going to find the up-close and personal snipe, though. The quick scopes are Neil's specialty. And he's getting it on for 2-for-1 offers. Nope, say he's not going to give that kill away. And neither is Shark to Creed. And it's a story as old as time when it comes down to Tunisia search and destroy. Getting into the bomb site is the most difficult part. Once you're in there, holding it is extremely tough to break.
The problem was there, as you said, when Neil is so far removed from the situation, it's hard to bring that back. You need to win at least one of those gunfights for that to be possible. That's not how you start the round. Grenade not landing. Shock this time around for Animus on this second attack now. Yeah, trying to hold the different angles. They're playing the exact same spot, but predicting an A push to come through. Shots that are ringing out from Rasmo gives them that evidence. A big rotation starting to come through here for Animus. Don't like what they're seeing over towards A, so maybe B has more to offer.
For me becomes how quickly do Exclusive react to this, right? What do? Feels like the reaction is to send Creed very far up. Creed, a lot to do here. How reactive is he in the situation? Shots not the best. He's going to get overwhelmed by the sheer amount of Animus players that were set in his direction. Animus have their heart set on a B plant, and they're going to go for it.
Plenty of presence. And starting to move forward now. Neil needs to find something out of nothing. Oh, he did have a little bit of support, but you just seen Via get wiped out by Nox, and Nox may well be finding Neil on the chopping blocks next, but he goes for the challenge. Neil will find it. What's the opportunity now for Animus? It's a 3 versus 2 in your favor, but you've lost a little bit of side control. You may well find it here, though, as Rasmo will push around behind with this. Oh, he can't find it. Shark can find one, and now the pressure will start to come on, and they know exactly where Cesar is left in this 1v2. Shots going in. He's getting out as well. How on earth are Exclusive still in this round?
Animus, by the skin of their teeth, have actually just got control of the site. I thought for a second they'd be rotating away towards A, given the fact that they've drawn both Exclusive players towards the B site. Now Caesar needs to play retake for a site that he'd been unearthed from. Shark and Says separated. Shark just spotted him out with that jump shot as well. The call will be made. Says now with the R9 should be the aggressor in this situation. Caesar has been tagged up, sent away, and Shark is actually going to be the one to close that round out. Aggressive, perhaps overly so. It doesn't matter. They win the round with style.
Sensational work from Animus so far. just overpowering them. Moving together as a unit, not going any very stupid charles or anything like that. Just moving together very, very well. You can see Exclusive have now completely taken over the middle of the map, and that's where they want to try and find themselves a way back into this game. Mid alleyway was taken over, so now they know exactly where Animus are. They check every single angle that they could have pushed through from B, and the information will now be gained from Via, who will be ringing shots out, waiting for the rest of his team to maybe find a flank. See already that Rasmus shock. We're going to try and answer to it, but Via will find not one but two. The challenge is going to come through in a second. That bomb did go down. Neil will find a shot that is absolutely ridiculous, and then that'll be the round surely. Unless Says can find something magical, not going to happen. Much better from Exclusive. And I think it's just that mid-map control. They can then squeeze on Animus so quickly.
Yeah, and I was a little bit concerned there because I already talked about back in round number 1, right? The fact that when a team on offense does manage to get into the site, it's extremely difficult to get them out of it, to make a retake work. But if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Exclusive. That's exactly what they do. Big kills, big round for Exclusive. You can't really afford to chuckle 3 defensive rounds away. Exclusive still needs to be perfect from here on out. And this is a different look coming out for Exclusive. It's aggression through the middle of the map. Animus are going to hold for a moment. And with the timing, Exclusive might be able to make this one work, but Neil needed to stay alive in that situation because now Animus can get into the site.
Goes for the challenge. Sliding into a very favorable angle. Especially if you have it on hold from binary side, then all of a sudden he is in trouble, and the rest of Exclusive. Animus can get this down. Rasmo with a shot in the Via, and that may well just signify the round to go in their favor, but Spy will answer back with 2 of his own. To a teammate that's up there, and he's going to be able to just come through and find another. Creed and Says are working well together. They're aiming at each other, but all of a sudden it's Spy left now. In the 1 versus 1. The shots are ringing through from his left-hand side. Says can't make them count, and he's letting them know about it. That was a minimum of 4 from Spy in the round, and Exclusive somehow have themselves tied up through 4.
How do they keep getting away with it? That should have been Animus's round. They got onto the site. They drew that first blood early on, and perhaps it is the flank that disorientates Animus for long enough. Oh, geez, Louise. Exclusive just keep on getting away with bloody murder. Big retakes out of Exclusive. 2 rounds on the bounce now. Now 2-2 in this search and destroy, and a much more standard approach here on the defense from Exclusive as well. They're slowing up. Gefiller over the top. We talked about utility being key early on in this round. Well, how about that from Gefiller? Going to remove fear from the round right at the beginning.
Says they're going to try and hold this down from this position. It's so difficult because you know they're going to fly over the top and just start ringing bullets through. Shock's going to be caught with his pants down though, as Neil will find one on Rasmo. Nox can answer back with the round. A flurry of life, and then once again sits back, but Stays will find one onto Neil, who maybe just got a little bit overzealous. And now all of a sudden Exclusive may well be over towards this B side, as Will says. Over towards the A side. The rest of the teams on the side of Animus are over towards B. And that is going to be a bomb going down, and you're going to have to rotate. But the positioning of Says here is going to be super interesting because he's probably going to reflank. Is he going to catch anybody in time? It's going to be all about timing. And that bomb has went down in time, is now not on Spy's side.
Now, I like this, creating distance between themselves and Spy. You know, Spy's the player going up against. They've got an R9 on the other side, though. Creed's going to catch Nox. Now down to a 2 versus 2. Creed really wanted that second gunfight because now Spy's isolated in the 1 versus 2. They know where he's located as well. But Spy, no choice once again but to close the distance between these players. This first kill versus Says is good. He knows where Gefiller is for the second, and he's going to take them out as well. 2 rounds on the bounce now. Does Spy go big?
Oh my goodness me. Another 1 versus 2 coming through from Spy. That R9 is so goddamn dangerous. They pushed through the double doors. It felt like that gunfight went on forever. Where is the trade? You've got to be flying at them, R9 or not. Gets tagged up, allowed to reposition, and that gunfight, height advantage or not, ain't doing a goddamn thing against that R9. Fantastic work from Exclusive and specifically from Spy. This could feasibly be 4-1 Animus, but because of Spy, Exclusive somehow find themselves in the lead on the defensive side, and Rasmo is just firing through smoke and finding shots. Neil's there to answer it back. It's a 4v4.
Animus have been successful at getting on site. I don't think Exclusive want to let that happen once again, even if they have been able to retake. 3 versus 3 after the flurry of gunfights. The bomb being down is one of those players. Says is another one now as Neil's going to take his head off. Exclusive pinning these guys in while a player is going to flank. That's going to be number 3 in Creed. So Animus need to get this bomb down pretty fast. Shark going to take out Caesar, so that's going to make this more manageable. I'm not too sure what the Creed has revealed his position just yet, but Animus now going to be packed up together.
We're about to find it out, but they're starting to make the push. They're going to fly it towards that other player. It's going to be Neil who's going to have to back on down. Gives up that side. But the thing is, there's just no way that the new Creed was there. They may well do now, though. I think they've spotted him out. Look at them both just flying towards him. Creed repositions. Can he find the gunfight? Rasmo! The movement was there, but do they expect Neil here? They knew where he was, pushed over towards that side with a sniper in hand. Did he see Rasmo? He's got the angle to hold it down for the push. That's going to come on through. Rasmo will get over unscathed. And for me, he just doesn't expect Shark to be there either, does he? Surely. Reposition from Neil either way. It's going to have to be a 1v2 and the defuse coming through. Can they catch up again?
Neil's got to make it happen. If I wanted anybody with a sniper rifle, it's probably Neil here that's still in Europe. Rasmo gonna get shot. First shot wasn't crispy, second one was. Shark is just chilling. Somehow Neil hasn't seen him. Shark is just playing so sneaky. Just going to go for a late check here. Time starting to run out. Neil is thinking, oh, surely check every feasible spot. He's just going to hop on the defuse. Now's the time for Shark to activate. And Neil gets a bite taken out of his leg as Shark wins the round there for Animus. 3 offensive rounds for Animus. That is huge.
It very feasibly could have been more. Animus will feel hard done by, to be honest, even with those 3. Onto the defensive side they go, but we know that Exclusive, in these moments, they know what to do. Spy will now make his way out, and all of a sudden, Exclusive starting to just influence exactly what's going to go on over towards this B side. It's really going to be on Sharks to just hold it from this double door side. Is he going to be able to shut anything down if it does start to come into fruition? You've got to be watching that now if you're Exclusive. Says, oh, it's going to be the one that will be holding that angle down. The bomb on its way down. It's down now, and of course, Animus will have to now try and come back to pull this retake. Shark's going to be the first one through the front door. We'll find one as well. Nobody there from Exclusive to answer back almost immediately. Shark does not find a second. It's a 4v3 in favor of Exclusive.
And 2 for the regen is Shark. So down he goes, as you said. Numbers in favor of Exclusive here in this situation. A late flank coming through from Neil that might well shut the door on Animus here in this round towards the site as well. Players falling apart, and well, if Neil wasn't going to do it, I guess in this search and destroy, it would definitely be Spies. Exclusive brute force their way in towards B. Not much of an opposition to be had from Animus. They take those all day long.
Good job from Exclusive. Just felt like it was far too easy for them to push onto the B side, though. They waltzed on in and did what they wanted. Spy now going to start getting aggressive through the middle of the map, and now this was, if anything, where Animus slightly faltered against 117 not found, but not this time. They find a couple of gunfights, but still for Exclusive, not in too bad of a position until Via gets shut down there. Still, the aggression comes on through, but Animus are more than happy to match that themselves. So it's all left in a 1 versus 4. This round ain't happening.
I never want to count out Caesar on this situation. Okay, never mind. Gets doubled up on. I don't think there's much of a chance in that situation, short of some seriously missed shot. Great adaptations coming out from Animus in that round, putting a little bit more effort in towards defending B, not giving it away. They managed to hold it. So Exclusive, do things change? So they've gone B now twice in a row. Do they choose this time to go towards A, perhaps even a middle map push? It feels like a little bit of both. Much more slow this time around. Try and draw that first blood, then make the move forward.
Trying to clear out the bottom stairs, but irrelevant of that, Rasmil is going to find one onto Neil to push through the archway that gets shut down almost instantly. Trophy system doing its work there. But these numbers in the favor of Animus on the defensive side is something you always love to see, especially if Exclusive aren't pushed up and aren't in a good position. Cesar's going to find some good shots into Shark, but not quite good enough to seal the deal. Says has a peek. The rest of Exclusive just taking their time now. Rasmo is so close to finding a Spy there as well. But a 4 versus 5 still for Animus. Spy will find one under Gothilla. There with the R9 is insane. So something for Exclusive to cling on to here. 4 versus 4.
And I do wonder at what point do you chalk this up and translate yourselves over towards B? They're still trying to brute force it on towards A. Might have actually just successfully got onto the site. Notes over the top. Animus have retreated. Rasmo going to get taken down as well. And this is going to force Shark to make his way over towards site. Says, taking Caesar out. Exclusive are going to get this bomb down. So the only real question past this point is what approach to Animus take for the retake. Seems to be a split one. Says is going to be that player flanking. He has to be the player, if anything, to blow this site wide open.
Animus recognized the danger. That's why they backed off. But now it's a tough task. Spy will see him. Information is key. Says doesn't expect the reach out. It's been a wonderful attack from Exclusive here, and now all of a sudden for Nox, it's just impossible, but Spy gets taken down. Sharks will find one. How on earth is this happen? How on earth did Nox find that shot? Shark will come through and find two more. Animus find the round out of nothing.
I'm bewildered, mate. Absolutely stunned. I'm sure whoever Narcs beamed was as well. Narcs beams and then Sharks follows it up with a couple of kills. That should not happen ever. Animus winning 2 versus 3, a round that Exclusive really wanted. Now Exclusive back towards that B hit once more. It worked for them, but it is going to be Animus once again providing a little bit of coverage. A threat to contend with. One player down low. The smoke will obscure them for the moment. Pre-fire through the smoke though, and Spy swiftly dispatches with Shark.
That is a fat grenade that he will just soak up. After the shots were very, very good. Exclusive have control of the side, but there is very much numbers here for the side of Animus. Rasmo will find one back under Neil. Cathilla will find one to Creed, and then all of a sudden the impetus is very much with Animus now. Are they going to push forward? Are they going to make something of this Spy? He's creeping forward, but surely he gets caught out. Says, I will find 2 out of nothing, but so will Says. And Via now left in 1 versus 2. It's feeling like a round that was going to be Exclusives. And just playing your life if you can for Says. Rasmo's on the way. And he will need him. Rasmo with the shot coming through. Animus will find the round. Exclusive found the first split and the side control, but Animus were there very, very quickly.
Just jammy. No other word to describe it. Animus clutching up time and time again now. Exclusive nowhere near as successful at penetrating these sites and holding on to them. Once again, it is going to be beef. Vast majority of their hits on offense have been towards this side. Getting on hasn't been the problem. It's been holding. Utility over the top now. They feel comfortable to get this bomb down. Animus have effectively given this one up, and I think it's just a play to try and get together for a retake.
Very well adept at doing that, aren't they? They are very happy to give the site up as long as they can get themselves the numbers to potentially retake it. Not going to fall into any 50-50 gunfights just to keep control of something they can then regain together. And they do it this time, though. Again, the numbers are not in their favor, and even more so now as Creed will find one of the Says. Rasmo has to do this absolute impossible here, but they have done it before, and they may well do it again. Rasmo and Shark combine well, but Spy Via combining now. And it's down to Nox. Oh my goodness me! The second shot was absurd, but can't quite seal the deal. Animus still 6-5 to the good, but my god, what was that?
Nox, mate. That's all I can say. It's just Nox doing Nox things. Like, he's not standing out above everybody else in terms of pure kills, in terms of stats in the search and destroy, but he is doing so with the sniper rifle. Exclusive, no reason to change here. Don't fix what ain't broken. Nade utility over the top, but Nox is the biggest issue right now, and he continues to be so. He draws first blood in this round, gets the hell out of dodge. He does concede the site to Exclusive, but are they even going to feel confident enough to get this bomb down? They will. Animus now back to their old ways of retaking. This time, though, they've got numbers.
An Exclusive, I think they would have known that any pressure over towards A without the numbers advantage was always going to be difficult, so they stuck to their guns quite literally. Cathilla will get over towards the tent, and that might just now give everybody on Animus the idea that they can push forward. Via will find one, though. The next kill is absolutely massive, but Shark and Nox combining well. Spy and Neil, you need to stay alive here for the map to go your way. This is now for the win for Animus, but Spy continue to survive the reload, and the shots come through. Spy doing God's work on this side, just dipping and diving. Cathilla will find one more. You have to stay alive if you Neil. The no-scope doesn't hit. The second one does. There's a bomb on the bomb. Defused, but Neil somehow clutches up. How do they do it time and time again? Overtime we go. Exclusive. Pull it out of the bag.
Oh, jeez. Production are probably looking at me right now. You guys can't see me, but I'm having the most visceral reaction to that possible. But Neil has had some off-snipes of this challenge season. That was not that. Neil clutches up in the final moments, as does Spy, to send us to overtime. And now it's Animus back on the offense once more. They were successful at it last time around. 3 rounds They're able to scrap away from Exclusive. This time, though, first blood will not be theirs. Exclusive not letting them get away with their old tricks.
Stressful times for both these two teams. Gathilla's going to be able to find one back, though. And they'll probably have a decent read on where Caesar is. Only 4 kills to his name. Search and destroy by his standards. Lost your linchpin in Spy as well. 16. I didn't realize. Remember a couple of 1v2s, but my word. He's been adding to that tally and then some. Still a 4 versus 4 though. Exclusive in control just about. One player over towards the B side. Everybody else at A. Here to try and stop Animus having their way. Taking their time though. 50 seconds or so to go. They're going to have to start making a move very, very shortly.
Animus still seem intent on getting into this site. Fear's going to be in a bit of an unconventional spot. Is it going to be enough to throw these players off? Shark with a sniper rifle. These shots have to be good. Fear taking off that. Oh, needs to hit that first shot. Is it enough to draw Shark out into the open? Exclusive getting tetchy here. You can see it in the play. Creed is now starting to make the flank in from behind. Time not on Animus' side. 20 seconds. Fear with that opening shot. The salvo of kills. Back and forth we go to a 2 versus 2. Creed now might regret this flank.
Shots through the bomb. Oh, he's going to find it. Gothilla falls and Creed's on the flank. Shark now will try to go for it himself, but as soon as he gets it down, even if he does, he's dead to rights. The flank from Creed pays off, but the shots from Neil create that opportunity. 7-6. Exclusive 1 round away from somehow taking this search and destroy. And that was with Spy gone from pretty much the beginning of the round. The guy that really has had his carry pants on. Which way is he going to be? It was B that was so successful for the side of Exclusive. They head straight to A.
Man, if Exclusive win this, a search and destroy that inarguably Animus should have taken. There's going to be conversations to be had, but Rasmo's starting strong in this S&D round with a couple of kills already. Bomb now down inside Winery, and we're talking about Exclusive potentially winning out the search and destroy. The odds are stacked against them in this offensive effort. Things will slow down significantly. They've got to go on a bomb retrieval mission.
You would stack the odds against them. Well, that's what it's felt like throughout this entire search and destroy. That they have not had the numbers, and yet they've found the rounds. Still a difficult position to do anything from. It's going to take somebody finding a shot. Just like that, Rasmo will fall. And momentarily, it's a 3 versus 2 in favor of Exclusive. Over towards this A side. Two players over towards the B side from Animus, who will surely be on their way. Winery push now starting to come through. Gothilla has to hold this down.
Technically speaking, this is a 2 versus 2 on site. You've got Caesar watching the middle of the map.
Here we go.
The rotating players. Caesar can find Shark.
Hyman.
Would be huge. I don't think that he's going to, though. Shark's going to take some shots. Caesar at the very least will escape, but that was a necessary kill to get yourselves on towards site. Now Creed needs to do it himself. Get your hands in the sand and build a castle. Veer's going to pick up that first kill versus Saze. There they go. Now, reinforcement towards the site. Gafilla and Narks find their kills. Veer left up to him in a 1 versus 3. Player to his left is going to be weak, but he has not got enough room to maneuver into that site. Animus, with those first bloods, it really felt like won that round.
Into another set of overtime rounds we go. We'll see a minimum of 2 more rounds. Target now 9 for both these squads. And for Animus on the attack again. I think it's always preferential to have the attack on the overround time and time again, but not going to happen this time for Gothilla, at least anyway, and run straight back into the sight line. This time, Neil misses. It has made it a 5 versus 4 in Exclusive's favor. Starting to close the net over towards this B side, so much so that Creed is just up close and personal, and this is a whitewash over towards B. Animus have found, well, nothing so far until Nox is able, but Spy closes it out. Exclusive find a very convincing defensive round.
It feels like in overtime so far, Exclusive have looked a little bit more convincing. Animus last round on the defense. They're able to get the opening first couple of bloods and leave Exclusive stranded early on. What adaptations do Exclusive make to ensure that doesn't happen again? They might be more prepared for a push up, an egregious push at that from Rasmo towards Winery. I don't know if that is going to be the case, though. Exclusive still holding for the moment. It's looking for the first blood. That nade should tag, and it will, but it's not the kill against Rasmo just yet.
Githella was there to maybe shut it down. Last time around, it was the shots from Vier that really opened up this A site. It's such a surprise because Exclusive, where a lot of their fortune was towards the B site. They took it so easily, and well, they may be considering doing so again, because look at those three players in the middle of the map. They've been working together, dotting their I's, crossing their T's. Big gunfight going to go through over towards the archers, where Shark will find Neil. That's a big opening pick now for the side of Animus. What's the play now for Exclusive? You had a little bit of winery control. You got mid-map control. They're neither sticking nor twisting. They're just floating in and around the middle of the map here. Indecisiveness is maybe going to punish them. Cesar can find back on the Shark after he found the kill on the Vier. It is a 4 versus 3 in favor of Animus with 45 seconds to go. I mean, it's sloppy, right?
Yeah, Godifilla's going to take Spy down as well. And this does, I think you're absolutely right, mate. Feel indecisive from Exclusive. Something that befell them against 117 and Search and Destroy might well befall them here. Creed, 1 versus 4. This would be phenomenal if he could get it done. 25 seconds on the clock. He's got to go all the way deep in towards 8 to get the bomb down. And his first real issue is a player right in front of him. But Narx is going to distract long enough that Gifilla should be able to close out that round. A T in which Gifilla is going to win all day long. Overtime continues.
I felt like a round Exclusive could find. Just never really took that extra step. They needed to be brave there in the win, but they are going to find the first blood here on the defensive side once again. They have been the ones somewhat leading the charge. They've been holding these defenses, but can't find an attack themselves. We've seen 3 for both two teams when they did have their half on the attacking side. Of the 4 we've seen so far is being defensive round after defensive round, but is that maybe now a catalyst for Animus to try and find something as Githilla will find Neil again? Neil's dropped early a couple of times now. Nox is just gonna finally give that one up as Creed comes around the corner. 4 versus 4. It's a nervy one because the push over towards B looks good for Animus right now. If they can find the shots into Creed, who is gonna have to back on down, that might just give them a little bit of encouragement. But Creed has also got backup.
Animus changing tact ever so slightly in this round. Also dead set on what they want to do. And if the aim is to try and pull all the forces of Exclusive towards B, they've done it pretty darn well. A site is totally free and clear. And this might split the difference. Again, it's one of those questions, though, of does the team recognize that they have a free bomb site before Exclusive readjust their forces accordingly? Looks like it still should be let. Yes, despite the fact that Spy is transitioning over towards A. Creed also now starting to join him, and yeah, has time really ran out in the situation because Spy is going to draw that first blood, and he gets the hell out of dodge. Creed is traded out through the middle of the map, and Animus have got themselves on towards site.
Had to give it up. Exclusive don't have the numbers. Oh, Githilla, I thought he got some bad timing, but it ended up being fantastic. Says all will fall. Exclusive have got to do this without the numbers. Shark will find Vier. And is that one of the nails in the coffin of this game? Because this is looking at attacking around from Animus. Unless Spy can pull off the 1 versus 3, he may well have 20 kills. He will find no more. Animus, 1 round away, and that round is a defensive one.
Man, we'll talk about that round after this, because I feel like it might well be the most pivotal round in the entirety of the Search and Destroy, and maybe a crucial error made by Exclusive. But Animus, regardless, just 1 more defense, and they have leveled up this series at 1-1. Exclusive have chosen their side of attack. It's going to be A. Spy already down. There goes Veer as well. There goes Caesar. Exclusive are losing all of the forces here. It's all just down to Neil. 1 versus 5. He's already found the first 2, but the players, they're on the hunt.
For Exclusive now, it all rests on Neil here in this Search and Destroy. But I think the question has got to be asked. B was working for them so well in this overtime. They haven't went there once. And I really just don't get it, Brody. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I know, I think, you know, you can start to switch it up. You can start to say maybe throw a couple of curveballs here and there. But the fact that out of the 3 opportunities they've had in attacking overtime rounds, they've consistently positioned themselves over towards this A side. Rasmo is not far away from being the next one on the chopping block, but he's just watching the cross. He should have Neil dead to rights here. The shots will ring through in just a second. He's seen him. Neil has made this now a 1 versus 2. It was a 1 versus 5. I was writing his obituary.
I thought for a second he was about to find the perfect flank on towards Says. Still,
Oh,
like, player right in front of him can finish it. I'm dead right. And there it is, the final nail in the coffin. Animus take this search and destroy. And it has to be said, at least from my perspective, Tunt, that it was that penultimate round that did it. Now, I know you talked about the fact that they didn't hit B there towards the end, and arguably I think they probably should have done because it was the bomb site that had worked for them for the most part. But the thing that really did it for me was Animus kind of made it look like it was going to be a B here, and I think that was definitely the original intent on that penultimate round. I have criticized teams for this in the past. I don't, generally speaking, see any real reason why you should full send towards a B hit if you don't 100% know that that's not the case, and they took way too long to redistribute their forces towards A. They gave Animus effectively a clean rotation by not keeping any players away from that site. It's a round that they're going to go back to and look at in the VOD review and think, yeah, we probably should have played that one differently because it's probably ultimately the round that loses in that search and destroy.
I mean, look, let's maybe give it to the side of like Animus played that whole entire search and destroy really well. Exclusive had a clutch up time and time again. So I think if you're Animus, you don't win that one, you're probably super disappointed. Because, I mean, Spy, what he found 2 1 versus 2s. There was a 1 versus 2 from Neil, and that was all just to send it into overtime. So they were fortunate to be there, but could not quite capitalize on what would have been a hard one for Animus to take. Rather than that, we've got a series on our hands the first time that we're going to see in map 4 tonight, at least anyway. Exclusive aren't able to make the advantage count on those defensive rounds. I think it was so tough to... look, again, I'll harp on about it a bit more, though. Like, for all that they were finding their clutches, they were finding their moments to force that overtime, not committing towards B at all on any of these overtime attacks. I don't really, truly understand, but irrelevant. It does not matter now. That one is in the history books. We go over towards a control. Can't remember what map it is, but it'll be Arsenal or Raid. No doubt. It's Raid. There you go. It's always going to be one of them two. Come on, like, let's not get
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's a funny talking point actually this season because we haven't seen like a single Seaside since Open Finals. I honestly, maybe someone can explain it to me a little bit more because at least from my perspective, the Seaside spawn trap is not that much more egregious, if any at all, than the Arsenal spawn trap. Like, there's a very big difference between Arsenal and Raid and spawn traps, right? But Arsenal and Seaside are really not that different, so I'm not too sure why everyone just despises playing Seaside, apparently. Regardless, yeah, it's always Arsenal or Raid.
Well, let's see which way it goes. Both these two teams are proficient at this mode. We know they are. I mean, who's in their happier spot in this series right now? I know it's tied up, so it's hard to say, but I think Exclusive will still probably feel buoyed by that map number 1. It was a really good comeback from them. They'll think to themselves, right, okay, well, we did well to even just stay in the search and destroy. But now, based on what we've seen in that search and destroy, it definitely felt like Animus were the ones, I want to say, playing the more methodical gameplay, whereas Exclusive had to find those clutches. Could that just be indicative of Tunisia for Exclusive, or is that a search and destroy thing for them? I'm not 100% sure when it comes up to this matchup, but if you do head into that map number 5, which now is potentially on the cards, you got to be a little bit worried after that one because, frankly, Animus probably threw away 3 different rounds.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I think Animus probably should have won that
1 or 2 ways.
story. Yeah, Animus probably should have won that search and destroy easily earlier, but either way, doesn't matter. We are 1-1 now in the series. We go into a control. It is, of course, going to be on Raid. And Animus starting things off on the offense here. How do they want to play this one? It's going to be a big hit to kick things off. They win the opening flurry of gunfights for the most part. Veer, though, through jungle. Might well have just found a couple of kills. He does, and it is enough to stop this B capture from going through just yet. I think that first tick might have just gone through. Animus, though, not going to be allowed much more than that for now.
I'm still making some inroads, though, not cleanly. And nobody really seems to have taken the advantage off this opening break because Animus, though, are still just taking up time. Exclusive don't really want to overcommit to this if they don't need to. They're happy to just slay away. They're not too bothered about B going the opposite. They can only find 1 in a moment. That looks like you may well find 2, but Creed down from behind isn't going to be able to stop B, inevitably going over towards Animus. So, strange one, actually. Yeah, Exclusive are finding kills, but it's all from the outside. They're not contesting. They're quite happy to just lock down A, but even that, they don't have necessarily fantastic control over it. So you're already Spy starting to make the move through. I have been casting off the colors and they have changed. Have they? I don't know. I'm lost.
I don't think so. Are you okay?
Honestly, I might be colorblind. That might be my excuse. I'm not, but that's my excuse right now.
I think you can speak to Andy about that one. Regardless, Exclusive right now, 3 kills to the good over Animus. They're doing something that I always want to see teams do, and that's because they've got players inside bedroom, which is forcing Animus at this point in time to spawn out towards the drive-through. I will say, though, this is an appropriate response from Animus. I really love this play coming out from Animus. What do if you can't get through bedroom side? You try to brute force your way through the flank through jungle. You have to go through Neil, though, and Neil is absolutely snapping. Doesn't matter if he's got a pistol or a sniper rifle in his hand. He will get those kills. Finally, though, does get shut down. But again, the map positioning that Exclusive have, it means that Animus have to go back to square one every single time that they die. They don't get the close spawns. Creed is doing a lot for spawn manipulation right now.
If you can stay alive. Oh, there you go. Shark will find them, so that's number 1 on the checklist of trying to find a push over towards A. Clearing our bedroom is done. Next couple of kills are just so influential, though, as Razum will find one under Creed off the respawn. Cathilla finds one under Neil. Animus may well be down in lives here, but they are starting to sniff an opportunity. Says, can he stay alive down this side? Just about, because he's just now opened things up. Spy has done so well here from the money side, and that might well be it. 7 versus 4. It's not impossible by any stretch, but it will be difficult.
It's going to be really difficult now. At least Animus have dealt with the threat around the front line here. If they can get some ticks, why the hell not? But jump up will not assist Shark there in the play. Spy's going to cut him down. There goes Nux as well inside the pool, drowning at the end of the round as Exclusive starts strong. I've got to give Exclusive a lot of props there, because even though the round comes down to the wire in the end anyway, their map control is something I do not see teams do on raid control well enough. So brilliant manipulation of spawns coming out from Exclusive.
Now, where did they head to kick things off? Well, Neil will find one down the middle of the map, and the thing is, down for Exclusive, they have operators to try and break open this defense, but so do the side of Animus to try and hold it down. Next couple of gunfights, absolutely massive. If you're Nox, you're just trying to survive in what is an absolute arsenal being thrown towards you, but the gunfights have went their way. The next couple are just so influential. Says, I can do with staying alive, and he does it for only a moment. Animus now able to force their way up the map just a little bit and make Exclusive's job even more difficult.
And these first few kills for Animus have been everything. Cathilla now wanted to follow up with some kills with the Annihilator, doing exactly that in the middle of the map for a couple. Just doing more and more to add insult to injury here. But over by A, Exclusive seem to have broken out of jail somewhat. They've got a couple of players already on the point. Nobody from Animus is pushed enough far up enough to prevent those close spawns from coming through from Exclusive. So Exclusive here actually doing a lot to start to pressure Animus over by the A point, but as I say, it's a full yellow kill feed. Animus able to deal with all of these players, and Veer's now the last one out of that spawn.
Oh, Says, I can't find it. Says just shut it down. Now it's just starting to get into the realms of difficult for Exclusive now. Nox is going to be able to find one. He does find a second before falling on his sword, but all of a sudden Cathilla has some defensive work to do of his own, but he's just been so good so far in this series. This is going to bring out the War Machine just to maybe further solidify this round. I suppose just put an exclamation point on it, but he hasn't hit anything yet, so far hasn't really found a great deal. War Machine does find you one, finds nothing else with it. Could do with finding himself in a position now. Has it just won them off enough? The answer is absolutely not. Inroads made over towards B for Exclusive. One player on the flank potentially for Animus. But can they extend this time here now?
I should be able to. Animus not going to give anything away for free here in this situation. They're also starting to set up for that inevitable spawn trap as well. You need a second player for it, though, and I think that's what Says is about to go ahead and do. So that puts a lot of weight on this push round here for Exclusive. They need to make sure this works to blow this play wide open. That's always the gamble that teams do take. Says now going to bring the Predator missile down. That's going to affect a couple of players. It does exactly that. 2 players down for the count. They'll now get stuck in the spawn trap set up by Animus on the other side. This is exactly what you wanted, an execution of the strategy that is perfect from Animus. Great utilization of the Predator missile. Says might go down, but there's only 5 lives left on the board now for Exclusive.
Spy was just trying to play his life for so long. You need the players who are in the spawn to be able to bring something out. Neil will fall. Animus will back down. Really good job. I love the Predator missile usage there. Just fantastic. Bring it in at the right time because you know you have to set up for the spawn trap. Sensational work for Animus, and that is a relatively comfortable round. Exclusive managed to find something over towards the B side, but only to prolong the inevitable. Good job from Animus. And now for exclusive over towards this defensive side. But what I do want to say, felt like Animus invested a decent amount. Exclusive have got 5 operators off the rip, and that will surely influence the round. Here we go over towards the B side, down for Animus.
Oh, Animus starting so strong. Filler already for a couple of kills. Exclusive are going to have to use some of those operators, and Caesar's going to be one of those players that does bring the Sparrow out for some effectiveness, but you haven't actually done anything really to remove Animus from this point. You might be getting kills in the middle of the map, but nothing really to say beyond that. Gafilla's going to take him down. So Animus here, second tick about to be through. A blazing start for them. Rasmo being wary of a potential spawn trap coming on through from Exclusive. Exclusive, though, going to take Rasmo down. Animus now down for the count. This is a great response coming out from Exclusive. What do you do when you've already lost B? Get him spawn trapped.
Oh, they're keeping them here. Sensational work so far from Exclusive. Spy is surely going to fall, though. If he finds anything else here, that would be fantastic, but doesn't. But is damage already done? Has that now allowed the rest of Exclusive to set themselves up for what will probably be a one-dimensional push now? From the side of Animus, you know exactly where they're coming from. First gunfight's found by Rasmo. Via will be there to be taken down. So answers back with the kill on Gathilla, and all these kills are starting to get very important now for Animus, who finds something over towards the kitchen side. Last gunfight, Says finds it. Onto the site we go. Exclusive have been pegged back, and Animus have the opportunity. They can smell it. That's huge.
Big shutdowns being made across the board here. Say's going to bring that Predator missile down, though, to try and create some space for Animus. Narc's now investing. The Sparrow not really doing much beyond zone denial. Keeping players away from the kitchen here now towards the point. Neither of those arrows will connect. So the Sparrow doesn't really do all of that much. And Exclusive now have fought their way back on towards the point. It's nowhere near as certain as round number 1. Sharknov doubling up inside the Tiki. He has ordered a double. He's ordered a triple, and he's knocking all of those down. Exclusive down now by 4 lives. Animus, they're starting to touch the point.
This is a huge opportunity now. Plenty of time to be able to make this work. Plenty of time to be able to use your advantage, but Exclusive will find 3 and will shut down them momentarily. This is an investment now for Says. He wants to make sure he can find one. Ringing shots out over towards Tiki. You can see that Neil's already brought in the claw as well. That's going to be coming in from the backside of things. Actually, he's in the middle of the map just to try and shut it down if he can, but Says is doing all the work that he possibly can over towards the site. Spy will eventually shut him down. 6 versus 3. Still doable here for Exclusive, especially with Spy. With the Annihilator out, Creed's got the equalizers too. This is still doable, but he got over aggressive. It doesn't matter if you find Shark. 3 versus 4.
This investment is everything. Coming out from Exclusive. Creed's finding more value as well. Can Spy find anything at the same time? Gafilla's just been spotted towards the basketball court. The call should have been made towards Spy that, hey, a player's making their way through basketball, but there's no more Annihilator. It does not matter for Spy, who picks up that kill with a Type 19 regardless. What was a very advantageous position for Animus has come down to this, a 2 versus 3 with 5 seconds left. Forced out of position is Says, and now Narcs for a 1v3 with a sniper rifle. Doesn't even matter if you get a second frag in that situation. You're not getting to the point in time. Exclusive with a couple of crucial operators are able to save that round.
And that's efficient operator usage. If you pull them in there, it's such a catch-22, isn't it? Like, you get yourself caught with those operators in hand. If you don't make that work, you've wasted so much. I might have used the wrong saying, who knows at this stage. Double-edged sword, catch-22, I think it's the same thing. Who knows? Write the answers on a postcard, I'm not too sure. Exclusive now find themselves in the lead, irrelevant of my lack of English. Over towards B we go. If you are Exclusive, investment was made, but you got the returns and then some.
And start of this round though for Neil. Insane. Already finding snipe after snipe, creating a lot of space for his team. I wonder if Neil will continue to do this over the top as well, or just get involved in towards the point. I think it's probably going to be a little bit of both. Towards the point he goes now. Sniper, can he find any more value? Misses that little quick scope on towards Rasmo. Through the middle of the map now, pressure starting to mount. Players have been dealt with for the most part, though. Up close and towards the point goes Narcs. Going to get shut down, but Veer with a couple of crucial gunfights. Now just one more player here on the flank. Gonna be Says, will be dealt with. There's no stopping Exclusive now on B. An extra 60 seconds added to the board. That's a great start for Exclusive here on the offense.
Things were opening up over towards A, but important kills for Animus. Had to find them. Now all of a sudden, resets ever. But slightly. Because now they're just trying to pick a way through, pick the defense apart. Gathilla will be there to pick up Spy very, very quickly, and that's bedroom control now for Animus. And Gathilla is not one to throw his life away unnecessarily. Cesar trying to cook over towards the kitchen, can't quite get it done. Nox will find 2. So now Animus are getting in a position where they can start the spawn trap. But you have to find the kills to be able to make that happen, and Gothilla is going to do that. Not throw his life away, he's going to throw the lives away of Exclusive. Hi, Neil, you've just spawned back in. Have 2 Annihilator shots into your chest. Doesn't survive for much longer, but this round is still quite strangely poised. Shots in from Sharka, fantastic. But Exclusive still have an opportunity, even though it is 7v15.
They're so focused on the spawn trap here that Exclusive might have found a way to at least be a nuisance in this situation. Try and draw some of these operators that Animus have built out towards the end of this round. Exclusive down to the last set of lives in this situation, but nobody can tame them towards bedroom side. Means that they can now push towards a point. Here we go, one last hurrah coming out for Exclusive. Pre-fire through towards money window. Kafilla will not fall foul to that. Narks maybe towards basketball court. Team shots looking good for him. Spy and Neil. Caesar now going to be out of the round though. First tick now going to be through. Kills being made here from Exclusive. Animus can't stop it.
You've got to get there. They've got to get there fast. They may only be 3 players on the point, but if they start to find the kills, that one on from Says may well just be the nail in the coffin for the round. You need it to be perfect. Exclusive. There was an opportunity. They didn't take it. Round 5 we go. Oh, things got scary for just a second there. Which way will this game go? Exclusive onto the defensive side. Is that going to be important for them? Operator side of things. Forward to the side of Exclusive to start this round. Here we go. Neil's going to shut down Rasmo. Did he call anything in? I'm not too sure if he did. He didn't. It's important for Exclusive to find those kills, but Animus don't lose anything in the procedure of it. Cthulhu and Shark, though, will answer back. Big push in over towards the A side. They've got a lot of presence here now, Brody. An opportunity for Animus over towards A.
I knew that the start of this round would be a flurry of operators from both of these 2 teams, and that's exactly what we've seen thus far. Animus for it have been rewarded with a push over towards A. Exclusive still need to get the kills on the point there before the spawn trap does get set up, and that has not happened. You might be able to get Gafilla in this spawn trap, but everybody else from Animus has escaped. Everybody else from Animus is contributing to the capture of A right now, and Gafilla somehow manages to take a veer out behind the spawn trap as well. This is worst case scenario for Exclusive. The spawn trap goes awry, you lose control of A at the start of this round, and Exclusive now have to defend B for an entire 2 minutes with a 3-life deficit.
It is very much doable, but it is more difficult. Oh, and you're calling this in. Hi, guys. What you wanted to camp inside the point? Not going to happen. Says we'll shut down 1. And now the pressure can start to come through. Shark will be there to maybe just pick up the pieces of what that Predator missile brought to the front. But it's not going to happen. Creed says are combining well. 18 versus 16. Exclusive need 1 good clear out, but so do Animus.
Animus not going to get it for the moment here. Going to hold steady and up. Again, 1 play, you just saw him on your screens, folks. Potential flanking player is going to be Rasmo, but towards Art. Creed now going to utilize the equalizers here. Try and pick up some kills. Rasmo did get picked up on the flank as well. So with 90 seconds on the clock now, Creed's kills start to become all that more important. And Animus poised for a push through the middle of the map, push through Zig, push through perhaps the car through the driveway. None of it is working right now. Exclusive doing a really good job at just draining time off the clock, and Animus starting to put together a flanking play. Perhaps they've got a bit of time to work with.
But for Animus, they see those equalizers and they think, yeah, those close quarter gunfights up against Creed, we ain't taking those. Let's take our time. We found A so quickly that we now have given ourselves the benefit of the doubt, but Nox will find 2. And it looked like Shark was dead to right, but Nox will find it. And maybe some inroads over towards B now. They get a little bit of a hold, and of course the Annihilator is out from Gothilla. Can he start to make some use of it? He gets taken down immediately. Exclusive answering back, and Cesar is there for the call that was needed. Shots in from Says. They will open things up, and Says now with the War Machine. He's not going to find anything. Exclusive back into the point. 11v6. Rasmo, what can you do with a sniper?
Down to the final 5 lives. We've been here before. Animus, can they be successful though? Gafilla's now out of the round. Veer's going to bring the War Machine out. This one feels like it's done so as Veer finds a couple of kills. Just down to Sage now. A 1 versus 5. And 1 versus 8 overall to try and win this one out. Try and keep this control alive. No, Exclusive not going to let it happen as they take the swing mode in the series. Go 2-1 up. Just 1 map away now from booking a ticket to champs.
Not far away, are they? And the search and destroy as well, they look towards it and find some disappointment after forcing it as far as it went, but they will find the control. I mean, look, it was one of those moments got a little bit scary, especially with Animus doing a really good job over towards that A side. They locked that down very quickly. It just couldn't make it count over towards B. It's still, I don't think it really matters in terms of the points on this one in particular, on raid. Both of them are hard with the only one remaining. That is of no doubt. But exclusive, holding it down. They nearly got punished though. We see so many teams over-invest into the spawn traps, whether it be Arsenal, raid, whatever. You have to be careful. You have to do it at the right time. Exclusive did not, but they get away with it.
And that final round is just absolutely wild to me. It's such a back and forth flurry of emotions, I think, for both of these rosters, right? Where exclusive, they wanted to put that spawn trap together. Animus stop it early on. And even with that, Animus give them a real challenge. Exclusive come out on top, though, in the end. We look over towards the scoreboards at the end of the game as Exclusive go 2-1 up. Via is the one on top at the end of that game at 33 and 27. And I want to say overall here, it does kind of paint the picture that I feel as if Animus might have outslayed a couple of points. I think Says in particular might be a big reason for that, but even so, it was not enough.
I was working it out as you went. I'm pretty sure it was dead even. One or two different ways. It's Shark who's went 20 and 31 that has made the difference. For Animus, everybody else really doing a relatively decent job. Says yes, okay, did well, but yeah, I was having a little flick through my brain. I think it's a couple here or there, but it's not very much. Felt like the rounds they did win though were a little more convincing, weren't they? So I suppose that's maybe what Exclusive was sort of saying. Well, the rounds that we won though, we won more of them, so that is the important thing. Right, okay, so here we are then into a second hard point, and I think we would have said for Animus heading into a Hacienda, you would have liked the lead, in fairness, and you don't have one now. An Exclusive are 2-1 up and heading on to one of their more favored maps, but a map that Animus picked themselves, so there must be some confidence there.
There has to be, right? And again, I am a little bit confused.
Otherwise,
yeah, I am a little bit confused as to why Animus have let this one through. Again, to be fair, I think Exclusive are beatable on this. We've seen this. I think it was Ultima that Exclusive did end up losing to. It was a 16-point game in the end, but it proves that Exclusive definitely can bleed here. But I will say, it's always a bit of a weird one for me when you let a map through that is undeniably, it was Exclusive's best map last season. I don't think they lost a single Hacienda hardpoint. If they did, it would have been towards playoffs. And this season, obviously, they've only lost the one so far, right? So, like, it is one of Exclusive's best maps, period. So it's a real challenge that you kind of set yourselves going in towards this one. But still, Animus, I mean, they'll be feeling pretty confident. Going back to map number one, it was only a couple of hills that really did make the difference back on Hackney Yard. So they were competitive enough. Surely this should still be a close game regardless.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Give me a map number 5 at this stage. Look, we've come this far. We might as well. Look, both these two teams seem really evenly matched. And I think, you know, it's always easy to say that the teams that are in the winners bracket final are going to be your two favorites to make the grand final. But I genuinely believe Animus will be back if they do lose this. The same for Exclusive. I think these are the two best teams in Europe right now, and we are getting a treat. Both these two teams just going toe to toe, and which way is it going to eventually play out? Exclusive, this is one of their more favored maps. Of course, Hacienda historically has been fantastic for them. But can Animus spoil the party here and send us to a map number 5?
Well, I actually did just look at the records here, and Animus have played this twice this season, and they've won it twice. It was a 250-80 against Vanquish, a 250-133 against Nexus. And not just winning, but winning dominantly. So maybe there is a chance here for Animus to send us to a game number 5, which would of course be a takeoff, search and destroy. But Exclusive starting this game very, very strong. And yes, time before you say it, they have switched colors.
Okay, now I'm on the right track this time at least. I'm getting old, you know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I would never say that to you, though.
That is a complete lie. Here we are, though, Exclusive. What isn't getting old is the halt over towards P1 for either one of these two teams. They all seem very proficient at it. Exclusive, well, we're untouchable for a certain amount of time there, but 14 seconds to play with. Animus will be there to pick up the scraps, and Shark will do just that. 3 in a row from him, 5 already in the game. A hell of a start from Shark, making it 4 of absolutely nothing. And that will now give Animus the opportunity to set themselves up over towards the garage point. And if we want to be picky, it's definitely not a Lamborghini, though, is it? Have we always called it that? I feel like it used to be McLaren. It definitely looks like a McLaren. Car enthusiast or not, you should know that.
I'm pretty sure it's always been Lamborghini hardpoint.
It's not a Lamborghini though. This is
Very recently, yes, we've had these discussions about it. Actually, I think it's probably a McLaren, if anything. Nondescript car though, because of course we don't have any sponsors here for cars. Regardless, what we do have a sponsor for is the fact that Narx continues to splay out 3 in a row for him towards the backline. Saze is also able to double up. So if Animus' objective is to make sure they hold these back spawns, they're doing a really good job of it thus far. But as I say that, Saze gets overwhelmed. Gafula also going to fall towards the backline here. Exclusive able to flip things out. Still 25 seconds left to go on this hard point. And yet still, Exclusive can't find their way through. Creed is the only one to find any value whatsoever. Spy able to trade things out finally, but just look at how many players Spy has to take out in this situation. He's not going to be able to do it. Exclusive sent on their way towards rotation. That is a stellar hard point from Animus.
yeah, sensational hold. Exclusive walking away, licking their wounds, and maybe licking a few more here because Shark get everybody combining from Animus. You see the Predator missile come through, and all of a sudden it has opened things up. Exclusive still here with the spawns though that are going to work in their favor. Have to win the next couple of gunfights though, because you are all of a sudden under the pressure that you don't want to be under. Nox is going to find one, but they are just about going to hold on. 50 seconds to go here. Operators in on both sides of the game. Says though, what's going to be able to do here with the War Machine? Well, he's going to be able to do a decent amount. The rest of the team in there off the back of that. The break comes through. Animus, an opportunity now with 30 seconds to go to build on this decent lead.
Solid break coming through from Animus, and they're going to read the back spawns as well. Fear now going to have to bring out the War Machine to try break through. He's going to get shut down by Razbo, who actually able to double up onto Spy as well. And all of a sudden, any chance that Exclusive might have had at breaking that scrap time might have just slipped right through their fingers. I think Neil might have just thought about going for it. That's a tongue twister and a half. Neil looking for the scrap time. He's not going to get it. So Animus there, not only do they hold P2 for the vast majority of time, they break in towards P3, get time away from Exclusive, and now have a commanding lead in this game.
Fantastic shutdown that from Cathilla, actually. If Neil was able to cook up what he was previously in the other game this evening when they were getting this lockdown over towards P4, they had Neil up top, and that was the difference maker. But all of a sudden, Rasmo can start to form after respawn. We'll find two, and all of a sudden, Animus are starting to look like a serious team when it comes down to Hacienda, and Spy's going to get caught out. Cathilla just trying to hold down the garage. There's three. Nice and easy. It's all about the positioning from him, and now everybody else from Exclusive has to go through one acute angle. Animus are exactly set up where they need to be. Exclusive, you have to find a break here. It's getting out of hand.
It is indeed, and again, a reminder, folks, that I said Exclusive are one of the best damn hardpoint teams in the Snapdragon Pro Series on Hacienda. Animus are brutalizing them here in this one. 100 points to the good. The lead continues to grow as well. Exclusive do find a flurry of gunfights, but Animus' response, and an appropriate one at that, is for Narx to bring out that Predator missile to take a couple of players down and to clear house on point. They will finish the first set over 100 points to the good. Exclusive have not looked good on rotations whatsoever, maybe apart from the rotation towards P2, but even that got broken. Animus just seems to be beaten to the punch every single time.
Yeah, P2, they had P3. And arguably, for a little bit, had P4 there, and we're able to find, well, just not a great deal. Good shots coming in from Shark. I mean, look, he found, what was it, 6 kills after the first hill? He's found absolutely nothing since. Pulls out the equalizers for 40 seconds at P1. Finds nothing. Investments have not quite been there from the side of Exclusive so far. Feels like they're grasping at absolute thin air so far. Animus have just been a step ahead at every single point. So he's going to bring in the War Machine, just trying to answer fire with fire at this stage. If you are Animus, and there's 3 kills going to be found very quickly from Saze. Everybody else pitching in here from Animus, and this is good time for them. Exclusive have got to find a good rotation over towards P2, and they have to make it count. They're 120 down.
And again, just look at the minimap. I mean, they don't have control. This is so dangerous for Exclusive. Saze is going to bring that Predator missile down. Excuse me, Exclusive do have control. The color flip even got me for a second there. Animus looking to break early on as Exclusive do have control now. Gafula now looking for the jump up. Neil going to double up. Yep, Gafula going to get spotted out before they can do any serious damage. Animus, though, we talked about them flipping out the spawns before. Can they do it again? Now starting to approach the backline here. Spawning from Fear does get shut down. Caesar now with the Sparrow just firing off some preemptive arrows, but those spawns have now flipped. Animus looking to break their way up towards the driveway. Exclusive, how ready are they for this?
Well, they have to be very ready for it, to answer your question. 30 seconds to go. So far, so good for Exclusive. Cesar just doing such good work here, but the Sparrow finds 3 out of absolutely nothing. And the push is shut down, if only momentarily. Predator MSL, and you have to find something with it. You'll find minimum of 1. Exclusive doing a good job. Creed now trying to do something here himself to try and shut this down. Pushing forward, isn't able to find a great deal. And eventually, well, Exclusive can lock down some good time net. What's time they needed. And now the rotation over towards P3. Last time around, Exclusive were the first ones here. Animus broke it open. The shoe must be on the other foot if you're an Exclusive fan. Neil finds the first. What can they use to try and break the door down?
Neil might well just be the sledgehammer all by himself. Also Neil, also Creed. The gunfight's mostly being won here, and all of a sudden, Exclusive surge onto the point. They remove Animus just as quickly as they touch. Now Neil going to utilize the Predator missile that he had earned to remove Animus even further. And for a little bit of information too, Exclusive doing such a good job at the moment. Caesar up top almost finds number 3. Shark will get him out, but still, now Exclusive really bringing the hurt home. Claw just going to be pre-firing here. The ricochet around the bullets is going to keep Animus away for the moment, but for Neil, doesn't even need it anymore. Switches over towards the secondary weapon to get that kill. Not going to be able to. For Exclusive here, a Spy finds a double. They got 30 seconds there they should not have got.
Animus. Have they let this one slip just a little bit? Even after all we've been talking positively about Exclusive over the past minute or so. Look at the scoreline. It may well have been 120. It's now down to around 60 by the time we get over towards P4. Creed, you got to find something here. You're not going to be able to. Animus now in the ascendancy. Oh, Rasmo whips the claw out, finds 2 more. Fantastic work from the side of Animus. They are looking for a map number 5. It is somewhat beckoning. They can win it here over towards P4. Everything has to be invested from both 2 teams, but right now it's Githilla, Annihilator in hand. The first one, is he going to be on the chopping block to be Spy? It's not going to be him this time around, but the rest of the team starting to combine from Exclusive. They find a breakthrough. Rasmo's there to shut it down, but investment was brought from Animus. They find nothing for it. Exclusive find the break.
And it's 3 operators from Exclusive, and all of them do nothing as Exclusive break through. Now it's Exclusive to have operators. The Annihilator doesn't go well. Neither does the Sparrow. The operators mean nothing for either of these 2 teams at the moment as Animus break right back through for the back 20 seconds here. Exclusive don't have much to worry about at the moment. They can still look to contest. A Spy finds a couple of kills. Rasmo Gafilla answering back. Neil and Caesar are the ones to clear the point though as they combine for 3. A back 15 seconds that could make all the difference here. We compare the 100-point deficit at the end of the first set to what is just now a 50 at the end of the second. Exclusive are now snapping at the heels of Animus.
Oh, big kills from Animus though on the transition over towards P1. Exclusive were about 120 down at one stage, and as you mentioned, it's less than 50. The kill feed starting to look very good for Exclusive as well. They can jump under P1. It's hard to get a good amount of time here, but you will soak up every single second that you possibly can do. Githilla's the only one who can answer back in a flurry of kills from Exclusive. The gap that was 120 is now down to merely 40 points. Every single kill that Exclusive need to find, they are finding it. Operator's going to start coming online for both 2 teams. Vieira's there, only 14 kills to his name, but he's going to have something to potentially bring in. Does have the War Machine available when ready. Animus will find a breakthrough. 30 seconds to play for here, but the thing is, every single second that they soak up at P1 is a dagger to Exclusive's heart.
Animus will get a few seconds away there, but Exclusive dominate the kill feed for a moment here. The rogue spawn out coming through from Animus. Animus is spawning out towards the lion side, but of course one player did get the rogue spawn out in the form of Shark. Yellow kill feed regardless coming through here from Exclusive, and that rogue player does find a little bit of scrap time. And honestly, I'm a little bit confused at the play there from Shark. Chooses to go for the scrap time instead of setting themselves up a rotation for new, and it's given spawns to Exclusive. Spy is here already zoning these guys away. Exclusive will have first touch and the rotation towards new with the operators.
They're investing, but so is Creed. Creed on the front line through the side door. Everything being thrown down from the side of Via just to try and shut it out. The lead was 120. It is now less than 20. My goodness me, what a comeback this has been from Exclusive. 40 seconds to play for here. They can't quite win it at P2, but they're going to do their hardest to try and just close that gap, to try and find a lead as we head over towards P3. Animus are set up for the break. Can they try and find it?
Annihilators galore here from Spy. He's going to find that first kill. Rasmo on the other side with the claw as well. Exclusive take the lead away from Animus. This should never have happened. Kills though for Animus. Still 15 seconds worth fighting for. Can Spy defend the point? One player sliding through and they're being dealt with in kind. Exclusive still churning up all this time. And if you're Animus here with 20 seconds left here to win the game, just rotate away. Go towards New. And that's exactly what they've done. But one player is over here. Via, can he do any damage?
It's all about the foot race, which has been won by Animus. Oh, and here we go, though. The artillery is now available. Gothilla is the only one who can answer momentarily for Animus. Exclusive going to come on through. The push is there. Kratos at the front line. He's going to be able to find one. Doesn't find anything else. It is currently contested. Kills starting to fall the way of Exclusive, though. They find a couple, but Gothilla and Nox can hold it down for only a moment that they can breathe. 24 seconds to go from them. They're starting to hold. It's a hellishly close game. Animus 20 away.
Exclusive just need 7 seconds. They just need one break. There's 3 kills coming through. Says and Nox, they're responding kind. Exclusive, they're in. Can anybody from Animus get to the point in time for the contest? No, they cannot. Exclusive, the comeback of a lifetime to qualify for champs this year. Hacienda is absolutely Exclusive's domain.
Oh my goodness me. That is a 120-point fumble to send you to map number 5. You've got to give Exclusive the credit. They did so well to bring that back, but it absolutely felt like Animus panicked. They wet their pants, Brody, to be honest with you. There was such a good position to be in. They were cruising, and all of a sudden, it just felt like Exclusive could not lose a gunfight. Did Animus get shaky-legged, or did Exclusive just turn it on? I mean, these kind of plays from Gothilla were so good. They did so well at this, and look at the scoreline. You can read it for yourselves. Animus were cruising in this game. Exclusive had nothing, and I mean nothing to write home about. And then all of a sudden, the tide started to turn, and they took the lead at the 3rd iteration of Hills and never looked back.
Man,
what a game. Exclusive will find it within 4, a 3-1 victory, but Animus will look back at that Hacienda and say, how on earth are we not seeing a map number 5?
I just look back to the map versus Wanted. Again, on Summit, I think it was, right? Where they had a 118 to 25 point lead. They had a very similar lead, and they almost chuckled it at the start of that game. To see it actually happen in the worst possible time. Ah, yikes.
I mean, impressive job on behalf of Exclusive to be able to be that far behind for such a large chunk of that last game and then bring it back. But on the flip side, and I feel like we've said this a couple times, is there an issue with Animus being able to close out when they have these situations where they should be winning? We've seen them get really far in the competition and not be able to close it out, whether that is on the whole or in an individual instance on an individual map. I really thought Animus looked strong, and I think they actually played better against Exclusive than people might have been expecting. So I'm now setting the bar really high for Animus as we take a look at this bracket when it comes to the lower bracket run that's about to happen tomorrow. Because I think we're actually in for some really exciting matches. Obviously, Exclusive, the first team to make their way through to grand finals. So like you guys were saying, they'll claim that first spot also in champs, but they're not done yet. We still have to determine which team's the best in their region, and they'll be waiting in grand finals for whichever team will be making their lower bracket run to go face off against them in our final best of 7. By the way, grand finals is always best of 7, so more opportunities for these teams to kind of pick up their performance, figure out their picks and bans time. I mean, it's going to be an exciting finals.
I mean, if it's anything like that series, then it should be an absolute banger. I do feel as if Animus should be the ones to probably come through. They looked fantastic in their winners semis today. Will feel aggrieved to not be at a map number 5 right now. I look at they forced them to a round number 5 in the control. They controlled the S&D in map number 2 for the most part, but both those hard points, like the first one was very, very different. They kind of just comfortably I don't want to say, well, they didn't get dominated, but there was just a couple of decent rotations out of them. But they will look back at both of them and say we had opportunities to win. And I think that's what that'll be the stinger. But they'll look now into a potential grand final if they do get there and say to themselves, they have the stones to be able to do it. So let's see if they can get there and whether or not they can provide a bit more competition next time around, because they have the potential to do it.
All right, Brody, we've made it through the first day of our challenge final. So give me your thoughts as well now that we kind of have the stage set for tomorrow.
I think all of these teams are very closely matched. Again, I mean, that's what I've been looking at kind of all week long when preparing for this, is just talking about kind of how closely matched all four of these teams are. And it does feel like Exclusive maybe are a cut above the rest right now of how dominant they took their first series and how good they looked in the second, as Tan already said, and especially in the hard points. But still, I'm so glad that things are this competitive in the European region. It gives me hope that when it comes down to it, when Europe finally perform on the international stage, things might go well for our region.
I think we've definitely seen the level of competition picking up from season to season as this program has continued to grow and expand. But now we get to determine who the two squads from this region will be going through to champs this year. And you guys saw it on the bracket. Here's the official schedule as well. Obviously, we'll be starting off with the very first lower bracket matches between the two teams that lost our first matches today, which were 117 and Wanted. Whoever loses that match will then finally be eliminated in fourth place. Whoever wins will go on and move forward to face off against Animus. And then whoever wins that match will then move forward to face off against Exclusive in our grand final. So once that team makes it to the grand final, they will at least know that 100% they're making their way through to champs, but they still have that final battle ahead of them to claim the title in the region. If you're unable to make it here tomorrow, or you just want to keep up with everything we've got going on throughout the rest of the year, all the way through to champs, follow us on social media, whether that's X, Insta, or Facebook. That way you can get all updates related to the Snapdragon Pro Series and you won't miss a single second of anything we've got going on here. Or you can join our Discord at discord.gg/Snapdragon Pro Series, where you can join our community, talk all things Call of Duty Mobile, and of course continue getting those updates. And we talked about it at the top of the show. Before we say goodbye, we're going to ask you guys one more time, if you haven't done so already, there will be a QR code that pops up on your screen. Just scan that with your phone, all right, and then fill out our survey. Let us know your thoughts on SPS, what you love about the show, areas think we could improve. We want to hear from you guys on everything that we've got going on. And when you do that, you will be entered to win a $100 gift card. Super easy and super quick. So if you could do that, we would really appreciate it. But that's a wrap on day one of our challenge finals here in EU. And so far, Exclusive are the team that have solidified their spot not only in the grand finals, but obviously in the Call of Duty Mobile World Championship at the end of the year as well. That means there's still one more spot available at champs and in grand finals, but of course there can only be one winner in the region. And tomorrow we find out who that will be. So make sure you tune back in if you want to see how all of it plays out. Same time, same channel, all right? As always, a huge thank you to Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy, Monster Energy, and DHL for helping us make this whole thing possible. And a huge thank you to all of you at home for hanging out with us and watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, DHL, and the United States Air Force.
Looks like the players are ready. Here we go.